Alright. Ugh. Before I get into stream character, that's a good start. I'd just like to say that I've found a way to make the first day back like as miserable and stressful as possible for myself. I've somehow created my own like artificial deadlines that I'm forcing myself to meet here, and all of which while I'm sick and only getting worse as far as coughing is concerned throughout the day, so that's going to be more of a problem than this morning, I guess. Man. The OBS issues from this morning were, I thought it'd be relatively simple to solve, like, the cause of, like, why the VOD had no audio. Jesus, man. I thought it'd be easier to fix that problem of the first. For those that don't know, basically, so I did the whole NASCAR stream this morning, and I found out like mid-stream because chat told me that the VOD had no. The only thing you could hear on the VOD was my voice through the mic, and that was it. You couldn't hear any of the the music. You couldn't hear any of the game audio, and most importantly, you couldn't hear any of the audio of the video I was showing, like from the NASCAR stuff, right? And so it's like, that's kind of a large part of it, so if you can't hear any of that shit, then it kind of ruins the stream. So, that was frustrating, so like, I was like, okay, you know what, I'll fix the audio issues, which I don't think will be that hard to fix, and then I'll just do the stream again tonight, represent it or whatever, so that way, number one, VOD enjoyers can watch it, and number two, if Linum wants to, he can turn it into a YouTube video. That I know other people later, like down the line, can enjoy. Also, yeah, so I was stream ended. I was like, okay, let's fix this. Shouldn't take more than an hour at most, and then I'll take a nap, recharge the batteries a little bit. That should give me time to then wake up, have some dinner, and do stream. And then I proceed to work on it for the next 3 fucking hours, man. And like this seemingly small problem, I only make worse over time. First things first, I try to fix a few things, and it makes it so that for the VODs now, you can't even hear my voice anymore. Now you can't hear anything. It's just completely muted. And I try to fix a little bit more, and it just gets progressively more fucked. And like I make the problem worse, not better. So, ultimately, I've had to come up with like a really dumb ghetto workaround solution. I won't go super far into detail, but basically, it's a solution that's really only temporary, and I can't. It should work for tonight. That's the good news. But I'm using this old OBS scene that I had to recover from like a year and a half ago when I lost all my stream settings before I went on vacation. And I think these settings that I'm using are the settings that got preserved when I was trying to tinker with my audio settings back in the day to make it so I could play music on stream, but then it'd get filtered out of the VOD, so you couldn't hear the music on the VOD. So basically, I could play like some copyrighted music and not have to worry about it. But I ended up not getting it to work properly, and because of that, I didn't end up using it, and I got rid of the program that you downloaded, or the add-on on OBS that you needed to be able to make that work. And then when I restored those settings, I think the OBS freaked out. I was like, well, where's the program that I need to be able to filter out the audio like you wanted me to? And I seemingly can't find a way to either make it so it doesn't need that program. I'm not gonna go super far into it, but basically, like, that's why it's fucked. And now, seemingly, I even tried like uninstalling, reinstalling OBS from scratch, and did a whole bunch of Googling, and just nothing worked, man. So basically what I have to do is I need to rebuild my entire OBS scene from scratch, so that way I can make the audio work again in a way that actually works like long term. which is going to take a very long time, and I'm going to have to wake up early tomorrow to do it. But anyways, I spent so long doing that, I ended up not having time to nap, and I only barely just had time to make dinner, so I haven't actually eaten dinner yet. I've only made it. So normally I try my best not to eat during stream, but you're going to have to excuse me. While we're watching the parts where I'm talking on the VOD, I'm going to need to eat for a bit because I haven't eaten now. I didn't eat lunch because I was too busy working on this, and alright, so I need to eat dinner because I'm fucking starving. But at least we'll get this to work. Alright. Show food. Dude, I literally don't have any food because I haven't had time to grocery shop since I got back from vacation, so it's literally just like corn polenta with butter and cheese. That's it. That's all I had left. I was gonna go get like Chipotle or something, and then I ran out of time to do that, so... Oh well. Alright. Anyways, that's the entire story. That's why we're here at night, and that's why we're going to do the NASCAR stream again. But at the very least, I figure the NA people that weren't able to watch during the day, you'll be able to experience it live again. Wow. Where'd I go on vacation? Well, I am literally about to showcase that for the entire stream. Wow. Okay. With that being said, let's get into the NASCAR stream. Part 4. Part 1 of Part 4 being presented for the second time. So Part 1 of Part 4. Part 2. So, okay. So, for those of you that didn't watch the previous NASCAR streams, I've gone to previous NASCAR races and streamed the experience. What's up, Dragoon Numbers? Coming in and out with the Prime 7 now for 7 months. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Indeed. Your sub will go directly to the Hot Pockets and Doritos Fund. Appreciate you, dude. Thanks for hanging out, as always. So I've gone to previous NASCAR races in the past and streamed the whole experience and have had a lot of fun doing it. So this year, after doing Talladega, Alabama last year, I wanted to mix it up and do a different place and do another NASCAR-related experience. And so this year, we chose Bristol Motor Speedway in Bristol, Tennessee. So I spent the last 7 or 8 days or whatever in eastern Tennessee, like far eastern Tennessee, as well as western North Carolina. There was a few different parts of the trip, and largely it was just a vacation. So spent a few days on my own before the race, just chilling. Then I spent a few days during the weekend at the actual race. And then I spent a few days after that hanging out with my dad in western North Carolina. We were exploring the Great Smoky Mountain National Park in the area. But, so, let me at least show you on the map where we were at here. One second. Okay. Make sure I don't dox myself. Alright, dude. Do I want to go through the exact same spiel I went through this morning? Sure, fuck it. I pulled it up and I got annoyed by it again, so. It's annoying to me that, like, oh, why does Indiana look so brown now on the map? Oh, that's annoying. That's weird. And then I zoom in and I'm more like, oh, it's fine. But then you zoom in even more like, they took pictures, like, satellite views during, like, the winter when all the fields are dead and brown, which is really underwhelming. So now all of Indiana looks like it's like a desert or something. Very annoying, but anyways. So I traveled from beautiful Lafayette, Indiana over here all the way down to eastern Tennessee, flew into Knoxville. Hell yeah, brother. And then I drove up to right around this area over here for the few days I was staying in that place before the race. Keep in mind, I drove up here so that way, number one, I didn't have to cut it super close on time when I was going to the actual race. I'd have plenty of time to do the shopping in advance. And number two, I just wanted to chill and explore the area in advance of when I was actually doing the NASCAR experience. So I stayed in an Airbnb near this town called Elizabethton, whatever. And enjoyed myself there. It's quite comfy. The place I was staying at was it was on a farm. And the farm it was a working farm, right? It had some animals on it, it had some, I don't know if they grew anything, but regardless, the people that lived on that farm also had a giant barn on the property. And this giant barn was used for weddings. So it was like a giant wedding barn, and it was all tricked out when you saw the inside, had like the whole full fancy setup with all the tables and chairs and stage and blah, 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 whatever. Yeah, Schrute Farms vibe. Didn't someone else say that this morning? You guys are, I swear chat's just generated by AI. Anyways, yeah, very Schrute Farms vibe, to be honest. Yeah, similar to that. And above this barn, they had a loft at the very top of the barn. Oh, you did it, yeah. Oh, there you go. Above the barn at the very top of the loft, they had tricked out into like an apartment style setup. So like had a full-on living space that had like a kitchen and a bathroom and a bedroom and TV and whatever, all that good stuff. And so that's where I stayed for the first 3 days before the race, chilling up there and enjoying the nature. So I took, it's time to turn the audio off. Took a little comfy video of that. This was the view from the balcony of said loft. Very cozy, very comfy. Yeah. I guess. And so, you'll see that right here, that's a miniature horse that they had on the property, and that's a donkey that's sitting right there, right next to their little feeding pen. And they also had this right here, laying here. I saw it looked like it was just laying down, another animal laying down. And I was thinking like, oh, it must be like asleep or something. It must be just like chilling there and just kind of sleeping in and getting like some extra snoozes in. And the funny thing is, I ended up talking to the property owner, like the Airbnb host, a little bit later. And he said how, like, first thing he asked was like, oh, what state are you from? I was like, oh, I'm from Indiana. And he was like, oh, good. Indiana, yeah, that's comforting to hear. I was worried you're going to be like from one of those like other like states where they're like much more sensitive to like, you know, nature stuff, right? So like if that was the case, like, oh, we had a dead donkey outside in the yard this morning. Oh man, I was worried that you'd be, freaked out by that or something. So turns out this donkey right here, it was not sleeping. It was very dead. Donkey just fell over. It was dead, just right there. So yeah, it wasn't asleep, but whatever. And I didn't mention him that I was originally from California because I suspect I was like, oh, one of those states where like, oh, he'd have freaked out. He's from Indiana. He's one of them farm boys. Yeah, it's fine. He's just used to seeing dead animals all over the place. Like, it didn't bother me. Whatever, animals die all the time, but kind of funny. This donkey wasn't there the next morning. I was like, oh, I guess it's gone. All right, there you go. And nope, it was dead. It was very dead. So yeah, that's too bad. But otherwise, you can see the property quite beautiful, quite pretty, very scenic. You're saying it looks just like West Virginia? Yeah, I mean, I've never been to West Virginia, but I would imagine it's similar vibes considering it's still an Appalachian sort of environment. You actually go up this. There's a little path back here you could go up, and you were open to hike the entire property. This was also part of their property, and like you could follow this path all the way up, and then like it doubled back. It like switched back, did a switchback up the mountain. And so I took the little hike all the way to the top of their mountain there. It was pretty cool. It's kind of hard to tell in the video, but they already had like the start of like some fall colors going too. They already had the start of like some oranges and yellows and reds in the trees, which is cool. I think to get the full fall color experience, you would have had to have gone like maybe 2 or 3 weeks from here. But couldn't control when they started the NASCAR race, unfortunately. So is what it is. But yeah, so here's where I was staying. I gotta say, it was quite comfy. So was it cooler, like 60s? No, it was about the same temperature as like Indiana. In fact, well, it was a little cooler than Indiana, but Indiana's been like insanely hot for the past couple of weeks. Is it humid? It was, I would call, regular humidity for this time of year. It wasn't like overly humid. You gotta keep in mind, like, this is at some elevation, right? This is like probably a couple thousand feet of elevation. So because of that, it's never going to be as hot as normally it would be like in the south, right? So no, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't cold, but I would say the average high during the day was like low 80s, like 81, 82. And at nights it would get down into like the low 60s, high 50s. So perfectly pleasant, perfectly late summer weather, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, it was honestly, it was quite enjoyable weather-wise. Yeah. So what I did in this little adorable little town or whatever is I did, the first day I was there, I did a little beer tour through a place called Johnson City, which evidently is a city that my friends told me this after the fact, after I got back, that apparently is featured in the song Wagon Wheel. So they were like, oh, Johnson City, yeah, I've heard of that from the song. I was like, oh, yeah, I don't know Wagon Wheel at all. I know of the song, but I don't know the lyrics to it. So apparently Johnson City mentioned in Wagon Wheel. Sure, whatever. But the neat part that I found out about this this city, very large quotation marks around that, is that they had not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 separate independent like micro breweries in town. And for a town of this size, I don't know the exact population, but it's not huge. That's pretty shocking to have that many breweries all in one town. And frankly, I didn't even realize like craft brewing was like that widespread in Tennessee. And like I knew it was like, I'm sure it's a thing, but like it was like huge in the city apparently. Your IRL friend lives there, does he? Well, I was right next to your IRL friend this past weekend. Well, so I made it kind of my goal for my first day while I was here to hit up every single one of these breweries during the course of the day. So I took an expensive ass Uber from my Airbnb because I didn't want to drive there for obvious reasons, and started walking around. So the first place that I visited, well, no, I'll point that at the ones. There was the Tennessee Hills Brew Distillery, which is kind of cool because it was also a distillery as well as a brewery. You can tell by my voice that I've been beering. Oh, did I not explain that the second time? Yeah, so turns out when you're around like hundreds of thousands of people over the course of a few days, you're bound to get sick from one of them. And I guess you didn't hear my coughing fit at the start of stream. Yeah, I am sick. I feel like shit right now. I felt like shit all day. And I frankly didn't really even feel very good for the first stream today. And I definitely don't feel good for the second stream today. But picked one hell of a day to need to stream again. But whatever, man. Like, yeah, I sound like shit, but it is what it is, man. You have an IRL friend there somehow. Went to their wedding there. Was it in a barn by chance? Anyway, so there was a few different breweries here. There was this was a restaurant right here that had a brewery inside of it. So I went to this restaurant and went to the brewery inside of it. There was where is it? Is it right here? This one's right here somewhere. Anyways, there was a brewery called Johnson City Brewing Company. I went to that. There was another brewery that was over on like this side of town somewhere. I think it was like, yeah, there it is, Watauga Brewing Company. And then there was the Brew Distillery down here. But the first place that I went to was aesthetics-wise by far the coolest. Went to Yeehaw Brewing Company. And you might be able to tell, it's right along a railroad. And it was a brewery that was built in an old like train depot, an old train, like an old train station basically. And they'd retrofitted it to be a brewery. So that was the picture of the brewery being outside of it. Yeehaw, hell yeah, brother. And it was really cool. The vibes there, if you will, were quite comfy. And so I was sitting outside on the umbrellas. Like you would go inside in here, and this is where like the taps were, and this is where the bar was. And so I got myself a flight of beer from Yeehaw Brewing Company. Hell yeah, brother. Now, unfortunately, the beer, it wasn't bad. It was fine. It was perfectly acceptable. I wouldn't call it bad, but I also wouldn't call it amazing. It was just like, yeah, it's solid. It's fine. And that kind of ended up being the theme of when I visited all these breweries. Like all the beer that I tried in this town was like, it was all fine. Nothing was bad, but nothing was like, blew me away. I was like, oh my God, that was so amazing. I got to try it again. So I guess maybe that just means I'm spoiled by the beer that's in my town because like the breweries I go to in my town are like, oh, super tasty. But anyways, definitely points for the vibes here. No doubt about that. And then the second day, I did a little hiking in the Appalachian Mountains. I didn't tell the story this morning. I guess I'll tell it now. So originally I was going to go to an area here called Roan Mountain. And I'd found it just randomly looking at the map. And I saw this weird spot right here that's like extra green. And like it stood out of all like over like all the rest of the area because I saw like, oh, there's like this little extra cap of green on top. You're like, what the hell is that? And I looked into it further, and it was like the highest point in the area. It's like the highest mountain in the area, and it had a whole state park dedicated to it. It was literally Roan Mountain State Park. And the reason why it's so extra green up here is because this is where if the mountains get high enough in this area, it transitions from just like regular deciduous trees, big word, into pine trees. So like you see, the reason you see the green on top here is like it's evergreen pine trees up here. So it was extra comfy pine forest vibes up here. So I was like, oh yeah, that sounds like my jam right there. So I want to go up there and walk through that. So I made that my second day trip to walk to this, or not walk, but to drive to this place and walk around here. So I get to the point where you turn up to the road to go up the mountain. Probably do the street view here. Yeah. Thankfully, it was not like this. It was not foggy. So I get here, and the turn up to get to the, where was it? Oh yeah, it's here. So you can see you would turn here, and you'd go this way towards the mountain. Any more dates that aren't like insanely foggy? There we go. Okay, whatever. So you turn up here, go up towards the mountain. You go to the parking lot. And it was supposed to be really cool up top. It was supposed to be They had like a rhododendron garden up there, so you could see a bunch of pretty flowers and shit, which is like, sure, cool, kind of pretty. And then they had this like little lookout area that we got to like after the end of this hike. It was all paved. It was supposed to be an easy, quick hike. And oh shit. And they had this little lookout here that like basically just be able to overlook the entire little area right here. Pretty cool, pretty sweet. So I was like, oh, sick. I want to do this for sure. I get there, and the entrance to this road is closed. I'm like, what the fuck? And there's like a truck like vehicle there, like a state park looking guy sitting there blocking the road. And I go up to him and be like, hey, is it? Because I had read that like there's also a trail you can follow to hike up here if the road is closed. So I was like, okay, well maybe I'll just have to take the long ass hike. Maybe I can do it, whatever. And I asked the guys like, hey, are we cool to still at least hike up to that the trailhead up there? He's like, nope. Place is completely closed off. Mountain is completely closed. It's been closed all season for the past 4 months. Doing construction. Can't go up there. I was like, okay. Like there was no indication. There was no like the park didn't say like, oh, it's closed. And like I checked out the website in advance, nothing about it being closed. But no, it's closed. Fuck you. Can't go up there. So I was like, okay, I guess not then. So there was another trail over here that I went up instead, and you can see not nearly as green and lush and cool looking, but it did at least have some panoramic 360 views. So I was able to get a picture along this path here. It was nice enough to get an old couple to take a picture of me because I saw them here, and they were like the husband was asking like, oh, you want me to take a picture of you here? I was like, oh, I can take a picture of both of you if you would like. They're, oh yeah, great, that'd be awesome. Yeah, we'd appreciate it. And after that, I took the picture. Like, oh, a picture of yourself? I was like, yeah, sure, I'll take it. So, shout outs to my my random old couple from Florida that took the picture of me. So there you go. So that was where I was trying to go. I was over here with all the pine trees, but oh well, whatever. It was still a relatively cool hike and some cool views. So we'll take it. We'll take it. Chilling down there because he doesn't want to bother chasing normies up and down the mountain. Man, I was disappointed. I was really looking forward to that hike the entire trip. I'll be completely honest. This trip was filled with a lot of disappointments. Overall, it was still a good trip, but I'm not going to lie. Each day felt like it had its own new disappointment, which is a bad way to look at it, but I just couldn't help but get that feeling. Like the first day when I did the brewery tour, like all the beer just ended up being like, it wasn't bad, but it was fine. It was, I was kind of expecting, there's got to be a standout. There was never really a standout that first day. And yeah, the hike that I wanted to do, was so straight up, you just couldn't do on the second day. So that was unfortunate. How difficult was the hike? Did I have to condition myself? I did actually condition myself in the, I guess I'll turn on music for this part. Now that you can hear it on the VOD, that's exciting. I did I didn't have to, but so last time I did a NASCAR stream, I knew that I walked around a shitload. It was Talladega, and I walked around a ton. And I remember at the end of each night and like at the end of the trip, like I was fucking exhausted. My entire body was sore and tired. I was like, okay, clearly I'm not in very good walking shape right now. So I actually made it a point before this trip, like the month leading up to it, to like every weekend basically go on like an hour and a half or 2 hour walk just to kind of precondition myself for this. I didn't do any sort of elevation. Maybe I should have done that because like the elevation gains are still rough. But yeah, I did some walking in advance. So it worked because like at the end of each hike, like I was tired, but I wasn't like hurting. So I was like, okay, glad I did that. And it worked at the actual NASCAR race as well. So I did precondition myself and it did work. So that was nice. So anyways, after this hike, I went down to the little town that was nearby this, the town also being called literally just Roan Mountain. And I had seen, I was looking for like the best barbecue place in the region because like, all right, I'm in the South, gotta try their barbecue, right? And I figured, okay, I'll try the best barbecue nearby. So it turns out there's one in town here, and it was called Holy Smokes Texas Barbecue. Not in Texas, but whatever. And when I looked at it further, you would think like, oh, it must be a restaurant, right? Nope, I looked at it in Google Maps. Here it is, Holy Smokes Texas Barbecue. Yes, you're seeing that correctly. That is just a gravel parking lot right there. Not really anything there. There wasn't even this tent right here. It was just a gravel lot that had one little trailer, 2 tables. There it is. Holy Smokes Barbecue. So I showed up, pulled up, and there it is. Holy Smokes Barbecue. It was literally just like a small little trailer, like smaller even than like a full-on like camper RV. Like it was a very tiny trailer. And it was just one person running it, just one person running the smoker who was also serving the food and cooking it up and preparing it. It was a complete just like one person operation. But credit where credit is due. I ordered the food and got myself a pulled pork sandwich with some coleslaw and potato salad. and it was fucking fire, dude. Holy shit, it was delicious. I'm not gonna say like it's definitely without question the best barbecue I've ever had in my life. I've had a lot of barbecue, but like this definitely has to be up there, right? It was in the top 10%. It was insanely tasty, and like they gave you a shitload of food too. So I didn't even. I feel like that night, like I had a very small dinner because like I was like I ate all of this, and I was just like oh. So yeah, it was extremely tasty. The pulled pork, like perfectly juicy, perfectly tender. Slathered that shit in barbecue sauce. Coleslaw was tasty. Potato salad was tasty. And I will say, the views as you ate this barbecue were kind of nice. Like, ignoring the truck stop right here in the background, I got like this little nature view as I ate the barbecue outside of the table. There's a little smoker that was there on the side. So yeah, this was really nice. I really enjoyed this. This was one of the highlights for sure that I saw this place. I was like, ooh, I gotta try that, and ended up not disappointing. Very tasty. All right, and after this day, it was time to pack up and head off towards Bristol Motor Speedway, since that was kind of the original reason to go on this trip in the first place. So, are there any pictures I took after this? Nope. Okay, cool. So, once again, I guess we can turn the music off. Once again, so this is a little test footage actually I took before the the Reels thing started. This was the audio test that I uploaded that I forgot I didn't delete, but.
Testing 1 2 3 test.
All right, it worked. That's good. So, with that being said, let's talk about Bristol here. How much did the barbecue cost? It was pretty reasonable. I think it was like, see if I can just literally see the menu. Yeah, there you go. For the pulled pork sandwich, it was $9, and that included the sides. So, actually, well, no, included one side, and then I got an extra side for another like $3. So, pretty damn reasonable for as much food as they gave me, especially. So. After that, I packed up and headed up to Bristol Motor Speedway, which was not far away from where I was staying. So I was staying like right around in here, and so I just drove a little leg up here. It only took like 20 minutes to drive up here. And the town itself of Bristol is up here, but the track itself is a little bit down here. So I went to Bristol Motor Speedway. Now, the reasons why I chose Bristol Motor Speedway were, number one, like of all the NASCAR races on the schedule, I've heard that this one is also like one of the big events with like all the stuff going on outside and inside the track. Something that could potentially rival Talladega. And also, like the previous tracks that I'd been to show off the NASCAR streams had been two of the largest tracks on the entire schedule. In fact, Talladega is the largest oval track on the entire NASCAR schedule. Indianapolis also, I think, tied for the second longest. So this time around, I want to do a little contrast. So Bristol is only half a mile long. It's one of, I believe it's the shortest track in the entire schedule, or damn near close to it. So it's only a half mile. But the cool part about it, as you can probably tell, is it's completely enclosed by grandstands. It doesn't have any open air portions of the track. So like, if you think back to Talladega, yeah, like the front stretch of the track had like a big old grandstand, but like most of the track was surrounded by nothing. It was just open air, and they would go by, and like you'd sit in the grandstand, they go by, whatever. This track is unique in that the entire thing is enclosed, so it's basically a giant stadium that surrounds the entirety of the track. And it's a truly impressive marvel of human engineering to see this entire structure from the outside. And so I wanted to go here and try it out. And so you can see this entire track is surrounded by campgrounds as well. And the campgrounds were something that I wanted to explore, just like last time at Talladega. So I personally stayed at the All-American Campground. Hell yeah, brothers. And which is nice because it's literally right next to the track. So I strolled up here. And for the camping for the weekend, for the price they charge you was for the entire week. So like you could have gotten there as early as like on Monday, I believe. And so the price they charge you for the entire week is $115. The catch is that it doesn't matter which day you show up. It's going to be $115 no matter what. So I ended up staying there basically like 2 nights, so like 2.5 days. And so you still have to pay the full $115 price, but all in all, still not terrible. And I wanted to do the experience right, So I stayed on the All-American Campground, and they said like, okay, you'll get I wanted just a tent camping spot, because some of these spots are reserved for RVs, and some of these are like pre-reserved spots. But then like there's also just the no reservation tent camping, first come first serve. So I showed up. This is the tent camping area right here. That one's bigger than the last one, right? The raceway, bro. Yeah, huge. It's massive. You'll see. And so I was thinking like, okay, it looks like it's just a giant open grass field, similar to what Talladega was. And I was thinking like, okay, well, it'll probably just be out in the sun. It is what it is. But when I drove in, I saw, oh shit, there's this one tree. You can see it right here. There's this one tree that exists on this entire campground, and this is within the tent camping area. And there's nobody situated on the right side. There's always someone. There's already somebody on the left side. There was nobody on the right side. So I was like, oh shit, that'll work perfectly because then I can park the car in shade and be shaded during the afternoon when it's the hottest outside. So I parked my car here for my camping setup and plopped down there. And from there, that begins our story of NASCAR weekend in Bristol, 2024. Let's get started, shall we? Finally, streamer can start eating his dinner as I watch myself eat lunch from that day. So, this is, we're now going back to last Friday afternoon. Come on, VLC, open up. Open up, open up, open up, open up. Come on, VLC. There you go.
Okay, hello.
All right, yeah, hi, hello. Got to rotate this. Hold on. We learned our lesson here this morning. Okay, there we go. All right. Sit back. I'll let streamer do the talking. As you can see, here's our one tree. I named it One Tree Hill, which I figured like that's the name of like a TV show or a song or a band or something. Chat told me this morning. Apparently it's a band, so sure. So we're sitting here at our One Tree Hill. Streamer, take it away.
Okay, hello. Is this thing on? Hello?
Hi.
Are we here? Is it time? Oh shit. Yes, it is. Boys, we've made it. But okay, I guess technically while you're watching this, I already made this like 3 days ago. A week ago? It's been a while. But at least for the moment for me, I finally arrived in Bristol, Tennessee, and yes, it is time to do a cheeky little NASCAR stream, volume 4. Wow. As you can see in the background, we got Bristol Motor Speedway. Fucking giant stadium. I can't wait to go inside. We're not gonna wait too long to go. But been chilling out here in Eastern Tennessee now for the past few days, just soaking in the scenery and enjoying the, I almost call it wildlife. I guess it's more just like town folk. There's a little wildlife as well. But that portion of the vacation is finished, and now we're to the NASCAR portion, brother. So I got my nice little camping site here, aka an open grass field. It's rather hilly here, unlike Talladega, which was completely flat. This has got a shitload of hills everywhere, so it's gonna make walking everywhere a pain in the ass, but that's okay. I do cardio all the time, so it's gonna be fine. But yeah, so it's currently Friday, so keep in mind, the way the weekend's gonna work is Saturday is the big race, Saturday night, right? So this is Friday afternoon, probably about 3 p.m. or so, and I'm going to not one, but 2 races this weekend. There's going to be one tonight, and there's going to be one tomorrow night. So you're going to be going on a not 1, but 2-day Bristol Motor Speedway camping adventure with Dali, and should hopefully be a fun time. We're going to walk around the entirety of the campground because basically this track is surrounded by campgrounds just like Talladega was. And we're going to be obviously going inside the track. I'll be showing you the just inside of the track, inside the stadium, if you will. And I'll show you, I'm sure, like snippets of the racing, but like that part, just like always, is not really the part I'm really here to film. And hopefully it should be a good time. I don't know. Of course, after like tonight should be like the party night, if you will, similar to that first night in Talladega. So like tonight we're gonna be walking around all the campgrounds and seeing what sort of craziness will happen when it's late night in Bristol, Tennessee. Will it rival Talladega? I'm not gonna lie, that'd be pretty hard, but there's one way to find out. What I know for sure is later there's gonna be a Kid Rock cover band concert. Oh shit. So I'm fascinated to see what that's gonna be like. And yeah, so like you can probably hear in the background, they're gonna got some cars going on in the background, going in circles. So I'm free to technically enter whenever I want since I've got the ticket for the entirety of the day. So that's cool. But before I do that, I figured we'd start things off with a bit of a taste test. Number 1, because I am starving right now. And number 2, because from everything I've read, when you come to Tennessee, or at least Eastern Tennessee, I don't know where exactly in the region these places are located, but there's a fast food place called Pals, P-A-L-S, Pals. And evidently it's supposed to be, oh, amazing fast food, oh, super good burgers, regional specialty, blah, 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 whatever. So I figured to start things off, we're gonna try out some Pals. We got a good old cheeseburger, or as they call it, the Big Pal. And I'm gonna see if this compares to stuff like, I don't know, In-N-Out or Five Guys or whatever you wanna.
This is what the Pals look like, so. It was a drive-through only place. Doesn't have any sort of walk-in dining service, so you just do the drive-through, and it's about as much of a meme as they can possibly make it. But evidently, it was a regional, well-known thing. Like, you know, it's their version of In-N-Out, basically. And I gotta say, the prices were extremely reasonable. I think I only paid like $6 or something for the burger. No, less. No, sorry, less than that. It was $4. $4 for the burger, which, especially considering the inflation nowadays, very reasonable for a very large-sized burger that you're about to see.
Call your best fast food burger. Personally, I'm an In-N-Out enjoyer. To me, In-N-Out's the perfect combination of price and tastiness. This one, for what it's worth, cost me, looks like $4.59, so quite cheap. And I'll tell you already that it definitely seems larger than your average standard fast food burger. And I was a little worried, honestly. I was like, is one burger gonna be enough for lunch? But okay, this thing is giant. This is definitely gonna be enough. All right, well, that's already a plus in my book. Shit. Okay, compared to like my hand right there, big as fuck. Okay.
God, this feels like deja vu. Cookout is also recession-proof. Great regional fast food. Yeah, I saw Cookout there as well when I went to Tennessee. I'd never seen that place before. Funnily enough, they do sponsor a NASCAR race, and it was called the Cookout 400. And when I saw that, I was confused. I was like, I've never heard of Cookout. What is that? I kind of assumed it was like a some sort of like grilling supply company or something. Like, oh, they supply stuff for like cookouts. And so when I went there, I was like, oh, okay, I guess it's an actual restaurant. Like from what it looks like, a fast food place that serves like Southern comfort food, basically. And didn't try it, but apparently you're saying it has good things about it. So maybe next time I can try it.
Okay. All right. Hell of a lot bigger than McDonald's burger. It'd be like half of this size. Oh, good old pals. Hell yeah, brother. I should have asked for cheese on it. I didn't get cheese. That's unfortunate, but oh well. That's okay. I technically have cheese right now in one of my coolers, but I'll live without it. It's fine. I'm just hungry. I'm going to dig in because I want to go to the track. Not going to lie. I hear the cars going in circles. I'm like, ooh, I want to watch. I want to see. All right. I mean, yeah, it's a burger. Not bad. They put some sort of creamy white sauce in there, as opposed to something like ketchup or mustard or whatever. That's nice. Not bad. Might just be mayo, I guess, but I'm a mayo enjoyer. I like my food lube just like anyone else, so it's good with me.
Yeah, the size of the burger, especially for the price, very impressive. Props to them.
Came here for NASCAR stream, now you're just watching a streamer eat a burger. Don't mind me. By the way, keep in mind, this is going to be one of a few different taste tests we're going to be doing over the course of this weekend. We've got a few things to try. One of which I might do later tonight, maybe like near the end of the stream. We'll see. Or, no, day one of the footage. Obviously, I'm not live, but yeah. But there's going to be like a kind of a mystery food later tonight, maybe. And then what we have to do, at some point when we're inside the track, I got to buy some tendies in there because I've had Indianapolis Motor Speedway's tendies. I've had Talladega's tendies. Talladega's tendies, F tier, dog shit, awful, super pathetic and sad looking. Maybe the streamer has the picture of it still he can pull up.
Shit, sorry. Just so happens I do have a picture of that. These are the Talladega tendies. These were like the saddest, most pathetic, turd-like tendies I've ever seen in my life. They were super depressing. Barely any chicken in here, like barely gave you any fries. They were like completely unsalted. Yeah, this was extremely underwhelming. Thankfully, when I went to Indianapolis and got tendies there, those were fire. Those were great. They had like nice little crispy, crackly texture. Like super well breaded. The breading was tasty and like plenty of chicken in the middle, and they give you a shitload of fries, and the fries were well seasoned. And so Indianapolis tendies, like goated, super good. And yeah, Talladega tendies. I love the whole Talladega experience, but this was definitely one of the lowlights. Dog shit tier tendies, unfortunately. So naturally, when I went to Bristol, I was like, well, I got to try their tendies to see how they compare, right? Are they going to be closer to Talladega tendies or Indy tendies? We'll see.
But the Indy Motor Speedway, there we go. Tendies were A+, super delicious, super crunchy, perfect texture. They give you a lot, so we have to like do a little tendie comparison, right? So we're gonna be trying out Bristol's tendies at some point. It could be tomorrow, could be tonight, I don't know, we'll see. Just like the other two NASCAR tracks I've been to.
How was my trip? Dog, you're literally watching it right now. Continue to watch the next 3 hours of stream and you'll find out.
Bristol Motor Speedway is bring your own beer. You can bring as much beer inside of your own that you want. So, oh, don't worry. I've got plenty of beer that we'll be bringing in. Hell yeah, dude. In fact, I'm probably bringing a certain amount for the racing portion tonight and then I'll probably come back to my car that way, I don't know. And grab more beer out of the giant cooler that I have full of beer. So, if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it right. Damn, this is good. I'm impressed by this, actually. This is, so normally when you have a fast food burger, it's like...
Something Murloc coming in off the gifted tier 1 sub to NA Streamer. Yes, sir, he's back for a one-time offer only. Thank you, sir, thank you, sir. Your sub will go directly to the Hot Pockets, Doritos, and NASCAR Stream Fund. Appreciate you, dude. Welcome back to NA Hours, even if it's just a one-off. Hopefully not something I have to do frequently. Hopefully the VOD audio works from now.
Super smushed and sad and depressing looking when you take it out of the packaging, but this like held its form decently. The lettuce is still very crunchy. There's a whole ass big tomato in there. Sauce is good. It's not overly fancy. I do wish I would have had cheese on it, but it's my fault for not ordering cheese. But overall, this is solid. Would I put it up against In-N-Out? In-N-Out's still the GOAT, but honestly, I'd go to this over any other fast food burger joint like that I can think of. I mean, Five Guys is probably better as well, but this cost me $4.59, unlike Five Guys, which would cost you like what, like 12 bucks nowadays? No thanks. Streamer probably already mentioned this and showed you this before the footage started, but we are in fact doing the bingo again. I was trying to think of some new gimmick to do for this NASCAR.
Yeah, shit, I definitely forgot to mention that again before we started. Oh, shit, that's okay. Yeah, we're doing the bingo again, by the way.
NASCAR race, and ultimately I couldn't really come up with anything fun. So I said, you know what, fuck it, we'll do the bingo again, but this time around we'll have new different bingo categories and new things to discover. So it's not gonna be just the exact same as it used to be last year at Talladega. We got some new fun, somewhat Tennessee-themed things to find. I'm sure Stranger like I said showed you the list, but over the course of these next 2 days, I'll be curious to see if we can find most of the stuff. I'm fairly confident we'll hit a bingo, but we'll see. Well, I'm curious to see just how dedicated, I guess, Bristol fans are compared to Alabama fans. Hear a ton of people cheering. I have absolutely no idea how it's going to compare. I like I said earlier, I get the feeling it's not going to quite compare to the craziness of Talladega, but I guess there's only one way to find out, right? What's more American than sitting out in an open grass field right in front of a giant-ass racetrack, eating a fucking burger, wearing an American tank top? Doesn't get any better than this, boys. All right. Oh, I needed food so fucking bad. Thank God we got this.
I can go for another one right about now.
Open grass field. There's obviously a tree right behind me. The entirety of this campground, I'll just show you. Like I said, it's just an open grass field, and I was like, well, shit, okay, the car's gonna have to be in the sun, I'm gonna have to sit in the sun, that's gonna be miserable, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then there's just literally just this one tree. That's it. In the entirety of this campground, there's one tree. And I was like, it's empty. Yeah, I'll park here, sure, I'll take it, fuck it. So we had a little shade, which I appreciate on my car, which, okay, yeah. All right, laugh it up, give me shit for my mom van, okay? Now, in my defense, my intention was not to get a mom van for this trip. My intention was like last year at Talladega, to get an SUV, but I reserved an SUV and I got to the rental place, they're like, nah, yeah, sorry, all out of SUVs. You can pick up a pickup truck or you can pick a minivan. And like, a pickup truck I guess would have been like more manly, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna do the same thing I did last year, which is use this as my tent and sleep in here, so I didn't want to sleep in the bed of a truck, number one, because it'd probably be loud as fuck out here. Number two, just in case it rained, that'd be miserable if you were in the bed of a truck, right? So.
Not a real minivan? How's this not a real minivan? Looks like a damn real minivan to me. Certainly was inside. Yeah, it was really weird when I showed up to the airport to the rental car place. It was insanely crowded, and I was like, "What is going on?" Because it was the Tuesday before the race. Had I showed up like the day or two before the race, I could have seen why it had been really crowded. But it was like the random Tuesday that I showed up, and like I stood in line for like an hour just to like get to the front of the rental car line. And then yeah, by the time I got there, like you could tell how stressed they were. They were super busy. People evacuating? Yes, evacuating from the hurricane a week ago. And apparently what I found out after the fact was there was also a giant concert going on in Knoxville, which is the city I flew into, which I think it was some country dude. His name was Morgan Wallen. Never heard of him, but apparently he's big, like super popular, and apparently he's from Knoxville, so people were extra excited for that or whatever. So apparently that was a big reason why there were so many rental cars that were already taken. But it kind of sucks because like rental cars, like in advance, you kind of you pay the money and like you say like, okay, here's what I'd like to reserve, and then you get there just like, no, we don't have it. Sorry, fuck you. Here, you want a minivan instead? It's like, okay, I mean, a minivan will get the job done like just as well, but it's kind of lame to roll up to a NASCAR race in a minivan. I don't know, but oh well, it got the job done. Last time I did Talladega, I rented a car through Turo, like the little app that's basically like the car version of Airbnb, and that one's great because then you can like specifically reserve the exact car that you're gonna get. And yeah, this time around I just went through like a regular rental car company, and I don't know, like whatever. Maybe I think next time I'll just stick with Turo if I like want to make sure that I can get the car that I want. It's an American-made minivan. Honestly, this car was kind of shit. It wasn't terrible. I mean, it got the job done, right? Like, I was able to drive it, and I had enough room to sleep inside. But it had so many just like little features that were just made no sense. Like the entire like UX design of like the little dashboard console was like extremely confusing and extremely unintuitive. And like my dad agreed when he joined me, so it wasn't just me. And there was like there's just a bunch of little tiny annoying features. Would not recommend. It was a Chrysler Pacifica. Didn't do it for me. If I'm gonna get my mom van one day, it's not gonna be this one.
I got
Did it have a gear shifter? No, it didn't. It had like, yeah, exactly one of those little turny things on the dashboard. How fucking weird is that? It's super awkward and super not convenient. Like, because then you have to actually look at it to see like which gear you shifted into, whereas like a shifter you can just shift back or forward. Super dumb. Super dumb.
For the weekend, whatever.
The knob shifter,
kids on the way. Like, guess this is gonna make me a dad gamer now, but that's all right. It's got space inside to sleep in. That's all that really matters at the end. So here's hoping we don't kill the battery this time too.
I was super paranoid about that the whole time.
In theory, it's got a bigger battery that won't die, maybe? In
theory.
We'll see. I can't wait to go inside. Once I'm done with this, we're booking it straight inside. We're not going to hesitate too much. I'm not going to blue ball you this time as far as going inside the track like last time where like I waited like an entire whole stream before I did it. All right. Let me finish off this burger. Almost done anyways. I'll get a little chest mount set up, and then we'll start heading over. In real time for me, that's going to take probably another 5 or 10 minutes. In your time, it's going to happen like instantly, just like now. So streamer, just do the thing, okay? Just click the next little file that says in the Bristol folder, all right? All right, cool. See you, I don't know, momentarily.
Fuck. Okay. I keep muting myself. I don't want to cough into the mic. All right. Try this again. All right. Before we do that, let me introduce the bingo to you, since I also made the super hilarious joke that, like, streamer, it's not called the Bristol folder. It's called the NASCAR Stream 4 folder. Whatever. So, we're doing the bingo again. Now, originally, I was trying to think of, like, a new gimmick to do for the NASCAR race, because, like, the first couple of times I did the bingo, right? And when I did the last NASCAR race, I was like, okay, I want to do something different. So I did, like, the whole, like, chat picks like what they think is the most crazy thing we'll see, and we did eat. Someone correctly predicted that we'd see a dude eating butter. That was impressive. So I was trying to think of like another thing to do, different thing to do, and like I just went through a bunch of ideas, and I couldn't really come up with anything that was really all that great. So ultimately I decided like to just do the bingo again. But at this time around, I at least came up with like basically almost exclusively new things to do, like almost exclusively new spaces. So a lot of it's like Tennessee themed, or at least like something you'd be likely to see specifically at Bristol. All right, so we got food with possum slash squirrel slash something weird. Okay, someone asking me, "Are you a YouTuber?" Because they always see me with my little camera set up. A car on fire. Earnhardt Jesus imagery, so like Dale Earnhardt, like dressed up or like being depicted as Jesus. Hunting imagery, hell yeah, brothers. We saw plenty of fuck Joe Bidens at the previous NASCAR races, but since it's, current year, 2024, had to update that one, so fuck Kamala Harris. A Kid Rock lookalike. We are going to the Kid Rock cover band concert later. Someone yelling / the depiction of "show your tits" at Talladega. That was very common. Like you saw like the little spinny wheels, like in one of them, if like it landed on that part of the wheel, like "show your tits," that sort of thing. Bump and run. This one's very specific to Bristol. It's like a famous race move specifically made at Bristol, where like a car will bump the front car out of the way and then pass them and go through. So any reference to the bump and run. Person shotgunning a beer. That's one of the return ones from the bingo last year that we never saw. Truck nuts, another return from last year that we never saw. A Dolly Parton song, which I put on here because Dolly Parton being from Tennessee, and like I believe she was born in Knoxville, so very close by. It only occurred to me after I did this one that I thought that like, wait a minute, I don't actually know any Dolly Parton songs. I know 9 to 5, I know that one, but outside of that, I was just like, I don't actually know any Dolly Parton songs. So yeah, Chad, if you end up hearing a Dolly Parton song, you're gonna have to let me know because I'll probably just go straight over my head. But that one's on there. Free space. Flipping the bird. So basically, if you see a person flipping someone off, or just someone flipping the bird, NASCAR tattoo. So just some tattoo related to NASCAR. Subway skated coming out of the Prime 7 now for 38
Evening
months.
Stream, WTF.
Indeed. We'll go back and watch the start of the stream if you want to hear me explain that. So NASCAR tattoo. And then Rocky Top. This would be the fight song for the university that's nearby, like the giant university. So last year was University of Alabama, so it was Roll Tide stuff. This is the Tennessee version. Once again, it occurred to me after the fact that I don't actually really know what their fight song sounds like. Hopefully somebody does, so if we hear it, you can point it out. But I don't actually know how Rocky Top goes. Some butt crack. Saw that one in Indy last time. Okay, something related to a gladiator. The reason why this one's on here is because Bristol, being that the entirety of being enclosed by grandstands, one of the nicknames they give themselves is the last great Coliseum, because it's shaped similar to like the Coliseum, right? So they tend to make a lot of like gladiator references, and like one of the trophies that you get when you win this race is like a giant gladiator sword, which is pretty fucking cool. They always take pictures of it, like the driver's like biting the gladiator sword. So any sort of like reference like a gladiator, okay? Not the Osborne Brothers song. Whoa. A person wearing only jorts. And so when I say only jorts, I'm talking about like, no shirt, just jorts. That's it. Dale Jr. wins. Okay, so Dale Jr. being the son of Dale Earnhardt. So he's Dale Earnhardt Jr. He retired full-time from NASCAR like 6 or 7 years ago, but occasionally he'll still race in the secondary series, kind of like the lesser series in NASCAR every now and then, because he owns his own race team, so sometimes he just races for his own race team. And this was one of the races that he was racing in, which is cool because he's one of like the OG drivers. That's like one of the very few OG drivers left from the days of like when I was a kid and followed the sport. So if Dale Jr. were to win the race, that would count for that. A coal mining reference, since after all we are in the good old Appalachia. Sketchy moonshine, because once again, kind of the land of prohibition, looking for any sort of potentially sketchy moonshine. Live banjo being played because, like, come on, we're in Eastern Tennessee. If we're handed free alcohol, this definitely happened previously at Talladega, so see if we're handed free alcohol. And then cornhole. This is kind of a gimme. All right. And if you guys want to do the bingo along with me, you can. Just do !bingo in the chat. That has indeed been updated. Thankfully, I don't have to update that one again live on stream, so that's good. Is there non-sketchy moonshine? I mean, sure, there's like mass-produced like brand name like moonshine. That is a thing, but maybe at some point I'll get around to telling you a story. There's another story related to moonshine over the course of the trip that I should tell you about. Maybe ask me like outside the NASCAR stream or something. Okay, without further ado, let's continue, shall we? All right.
Okay, I will admit that took a lot more than 5 or 10 minutes, but hey, you know what? I was getting my shit together, making sure I was ready for the next few hours of racing. Hell yeah, but I think it's officially time that we head out. Hold on, get you stabilized here, chats. Don't want you flying anywhere during the race. That would be unfortunate. Okay. Hell yeah, dude. 30 years of country music, says that one station. All right, let's go. So, we got a little backpack here ready to go, filled with some beer, and of course we gotta get some cold beer out of here. Yes, sir.
There it is.
Some natty, you say? I mean, obviously, pretty much tradition at this point. Gotta be the natty. We have an 18 pack of 16 ounces to go through, so I'd like to think I'll be fine on beer this weekend. I can't imagine I'm gonna run short at any point, but if we do, I imagine I can find more if absolutely necessary. Okay, say goodbye to the mom van. All right, there you go.
This, by the way, was my sleeping setup. The a little like sleeping pad underneath here. You can kind of see that in the back, and then put the sleeping bag on top, and folded the seats down, like the very back seats, and then the second row of seats you couldn't fold down. You had to remove the seats, so like that was really annoying. Took me forever to do that. It was a pain in the ass, but I did ultimately pull it off, and so these are the seats like off to the side here. But yeah, I bought an 18 pack of 16 ounce Natty Lights, which was a shitload. When I bought it, I was like, I don't know, am I going to be able to drink all these? Am I just going to have a shitload of beer left over? Because, I was there for 2 nights. Like, how many Natty Lights, 16 ounces can I drink? Yeah, spoiler alert, by the way, that didn't end up being an issue. Drank plenty, so glad I bought that. Other cooler, by the way, was just filled with, like, food stuff, and then this was all, like, the grocery stuff that would keep me fueled over the course of the weekend.
Yeah, there you go. I'll be back in, I don't know, a few hours, I guess.
This car
Like
fucking
that
sucked.
Nice,
Fuck this car.
Van, doing the little mom van thing. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. There's the track right there. I think we just start heading towards there. Other things to point out, I guess, or just in the
I guess there's something that I just randomly thought of when I was talking about that car. Another annoying thing about that car, whenever you got in, it would just auto start the radio. Start playing the radio at like full volume. And I Googled it, be like, well, I want the radio to turn on every time I start the car. That's annoying. I looked it up and Googled literally like how to turn off like the radio on the Chrysler Pacifica. And the result was, you can't. Sorry. That's just a feature built in. There is no radio off switch. You can turn the volume down to 0 if you want to, but yeah, the radio doesn't actually ever turn off. What? I'm sorry. Who designs a radio in a car that can't be turned off? Are you kidding me? You can only mute it. Like, what? What? So every time you start the car, the radio just goes on full volume. Like, who? Like, did anybody actually use this car before they decided, like, yeah, send it, ship it, Johnson? Jesus Christ.
Of like somewhat rural Tennessee, so it's mostly just like mountains and country back here, but there's a drag strip over there. That's where they do drag races. That's a thing also at this track.
No Robert Falfa to talk about how it's the most beautiful drag strip in the world.
But I know they do drag racing there. I'm not personally into that, so I know nothing about it, but that is a thing. And then off to this side, you got, I don't know, more campgrounds. Plenty of
beautiful scenery around the track, by the way, in case that's not obvious.
Confederate flags. Although I will say the Tennessee flag looks very similar or very easy to mistake for the Confederate flag, so you'll probably see a lot of that. The Tennessee flag's a red flag with like a blue circle and 3 stars in the middle of it, so it's and red, white, and blue, obviously. But yeah, at least for now, we are headed towards the racetrack. Let's go. Cheers, chat. Yes. It's nice. I don't really even have to like worry too much about where I'm parked because I know that I'm just next to that one giant tree that's in the middle of an otherwise completely treeless campground. Neat. All right. Cheers. Dink. It tastes like natty. Yes, sir. But that's not a bad thing. All right. So, like I said, we are headed towards
that taste test that I did, like all the cheap, shitty beers, is really it's really stood the test of time. Like every time I pop out the Natty, and it's just like, damn, that's actually not bad. It wasn't a fluke result, so shout outs to Natty for being not terrible.
Oh, there's more bathrooms over there. I didn't even see those. That's nice. We are headed towards the track to go inside for the Friday racing shenanigans, because like I said, there are 2 different races. Well, technically there was 3 races, but one of them was last night, so a little late for that. But we are headed towards the racetrack. I assume that we'll go through somewhere this way and head inside to tour the track. Now, Streamer might have given you somewhat of the lowdown already as far as like what the track is like, and I guess comparison to maybe the rest of the tracks in this game.
Massive, as we told you guys earlier. Longest track in the schedule. Huge, insane. Oh, it's muted.
On stream, but I know what it's supposed to be like, but I've never been inside, and I'm very, very curious to go inside because I get the feeling it's gonna be one of those things where it's just like, yeah, sure, it looks cool on TV or in pictures, but it'll be a whole different bowl game in person. Hell yeah, brother. Gotta keep an eye out for the bingo. Now, I'm gonna have a difficult time probably remembering which was the old bingo stuff and the new bingo stuff, but that's okay. Chad, you can just kind of help me out along the way, I guess. So I'm from Michigan. Oh. I hit record, right? I'm super paranoid. I did. Okay. You never know. You never know. Naturally, you're on my little chest rig mount again, so I'm going to get a bunch of people judging me as I walk.
Fuck me, dude. I keep muting myself because, okay.
Back to your
All right,
Java.
what I said was
Back to Ogrima.
the only downside of the chest rig is that while you're wearing it, you can't tell if you're recording because it's like it's on your chest, right? So like you can't like look down and see because it's like it's at an angle. So the entire time that I'm walking around filming with this thing, I'm always paranoid that like I'm wondering if like is it still recording because like I can't. If it stopped recording, I wouldn't be able to tell unless I literally looked down and like kind of bent the phone forward so I could see. So, yeah, that's the only downside of this rig. But oh well. Otherwise, it works great. And I've never really had a situation where like it accidentally stopped recording. So it's fine.
Around filming, I'm sure, but that's okay. That's okay. Wow. There you go. Wow. Yeah, I figured like Trump stuff this time around would be way too easy, so I figured I wouldn't even put that on the bingo because like you might as well just make that like the free space at this point, right?
Dude, there was so much Trump stuff at this. What's up, dude? There was so much Trump stuff this time around. Like there was a shitload of Trump stuff at like Alabama last year. This experience put that to shame. There was like Trump stuff like fucking everywhere. Like everywhere you looked, there was some sort of Trump reference. It was honestly kind of impressive. I mean, I know it's like an election year, right? So it's like more, it's gonna be more prominent. But like the amount of like Trump stuff you saw per minute was like far exceeded even Alabama.
Sorry. Oh, baby, there it is. Now I got my adorable little earmuffs right here, so I got my hearing protection ready to go. And now that I took those off my head, actually, I'm gonna have to bend over and put them.
Why is the speedway so small? I can't really give you a specific reason, but it's just like, you know, the NASCAR schedule is filled with all types of tracks. Got big tracks, got small tracks, road courses, ovals, street courses. So like, this is just one of the smaller ones because it is.
Back on. Perhaps I shouldn't have done that, but I've heard and I have read and I've been told that this is one of, if not the loudest tracks in the entire schedule because this entire track is basically an enclosed stadium. It's not like Talladega or Indianapolis where portions of the track are just open air or whatever. Like this entire, in case you can't tell, this entire track is enclosed by a stadium. And so from what I've been told and from what I've heard, the sound basically is contained within this giant bowl and echoes across this entire bowl and just like amplifies it up to 11. So got plenty of hearing protection for that. And it's hosted, I mean, mainly it hosts NASCAR races, obviously, but it's also apparently in the past hosted.
Well, these campsites have outlets/fire pits. So like the campsites by default did not have fire pits. They would rent them for $20, and I was like, nah, fuck that. I'm not gonna rent a fire pit for $20. I did have some firewood with me, but I didn't want to pay the money to rent a fire pit because I figured I wouldn't really be at my campsite all that frequently, anyways. At least during the nighttime hours, which was true. The RV sites do have the hookups though for power and water, but the regular tent sites did not. No. Was it loud? You're gonna find out soon enough. Yeah, that was my first Bristol night race. It was.
Did a college football
Yeah, the quality of the race was pretty disappointing for sure, dude. But oh well, what can you? I wish it would have been like the spring race. That'd have been so sick. But
game, and in the future is going to host a Major League Baseball game. So how exactly that works with like fitting that inside a NASCAR track, I don't know, but evidently they figure it out. fairly certain that's where the Kid Rock cover sponsor or cover band is supposed to be later today, or I guess later tonight. Poggies. Raceway Ministries right there. Welcome, race fans. Oh.
They also had the nice thing about this campground, they did have a shower house, so that was this right here. So a full shower setup, full sink setup, like actual real bathrooms with like toilets and stalls and whatever. That was clutch. So I was actually able to shower here. I wasn't able to shower at Talladega last year, and I got super gross by the end, so it was clutch to be able to shower here. Appreciated that.
Visit their tent.
I guess that's the difference between a free campground and one you pay for. Being in Kentucky, been into a ton of Bristol races, always the go-to. Did Atlanta this year a few weeks ago. Nice, dude. Yeah, shit. Knowing the race, those two races would have much rather gone to Atlanta, but oh well.
For worship service? Oh my. There's the bathhouse too. I'm probably gonna
That's
take
not.
advantage of that.
It wasn't like public shower, like where it's just like the open trough that you can also
wristband.
get like individual
Like
shower
a
stalls.
wristband. They give me no wristband, but anyways. Wow. You gotta raise hail, praise Dale, and praise Jesus. Hell yeah, brother. Okay, how the fuck do I get to the track? I don't know. It's right here, but gotta find a way in. It's okay. We'll find a way. My ticket's also on my phone, so I'm gonna have to stop recording once I actually have to go in, but I'm sure you guys can probably survive without the
Should have brought my other phone.
scanning
Didn't
ticket
do
process
that.
being
Wasn't
filmed,
smart.
right? Probably.
Cornhole.
Little cornhole. Yeah. Classic.
Market.
Now, like I said,
Boom.
we're gonna fully explore the campground later. So don't feel bad that we're like skipping over all of this. We're gonna come back at night. All right, we're gonna come back at night when things are hopefully a little bit more, I don't know, rowdy, interesting.
Dude, like every single
Rednecky.
RV setup has like a
Whatever you wanna
generator.
call
It's not surprising, but it's just like
You know, one
It's
thing I definitely
impressive.
just noticed about this sort of atmosphere already, this environment, whatever you want to call it,
some fucking luxury
it's
camper
a night and
setups.
day difference between Indianapolis. Like when I've gone to the Indianapolis races, like yeah, you got your fair share of like whatever, typical NASCAR white people. But oh wow, Indianapolis races, like yeah, you got your fair share of like
Turn and burn eats. Hell yeah, brother.
whatever, typical NASCAR white people. But oh wow. But that being said, it's still like kind of toned down overall. And when I went to Talladega, like that was, you know, it's like they turned up the K Kona to 12, and I'm getting a similar vibe here so far. It's just a night and day difference between being at a NASCAR race in Indiana versus being at a NASCAR race in somewhere like Alabama or apparently deep rural Tennessee. Oh my, little stage right there. Okay, I imagine something.
Yeah, I explained this morning how like Indiana is not exactly what you'd call like a. It's still kind of like a K Kona state, sorta. Most people would hear Indiana and think it's like, you know, farm boy, cornland, somewhat conservative still. But man, it's nowhere close to being on the level of like Alabama and Tennessee from the NASCAR races that I went to. Like Indiana, it's like on a scale of like K Kona scale from like 1 to 10, it's probably like a 6.5 maybe. But man, like Bristol and like Talladega, that dials it up to like 10. It's a pretty jarring difference. It's fascinating.
That's probably happening there later. Okay. I mean, I'm down to just check out weird shenanigans that happen. Absolutely. Safe to say we found our way to the track. Poggies.
Don't say poggies out loud.
Plenty
Jeez.
of large human beings at this event, that's for sure. I brought this beer plus 4 others. I'm very quickly beginning to realize that was not enough, but I mean, I guess in theory I could always walk back to the car and grab more, but that seems like it'd be a lot of work. So in reality, I don't know, maybe I'll just end up buying more in the at the track. But I mean, the good news is at typical NASCAR races I've been to before, at least the price of ticket, or the price of beer has actually been fairly reasonable from what I noticed. So that's nice. Okay, so we gotta get like a.
Yeah, spoiler alert, I just ended up walking back to the car and got more beer. I ain't paying $12 for a Miller Lite.
Hello? Where do you go in? Over here, maybe? Sure. Let's try over here. I should have brought more beer, man. Fuck. Should have like
Yeah,
double
kinda
fisted.
realized
what
that,
I should have
yeah.
done. I mean, like after the race is over, I'll go back and can get in the car and
After
grab
it's over, stream, you're gonna need more beer before that.
more, right? But Man, maybe I fucked up.
See, that's the play right there. That guy, he's doing the real play. The giant fucking cooler backpack that you can bring in and fit like 12 beers in there. That guy's thinking with portals.
I mean, they'd probably actually let you leave and then come back in, so maybe that'd just be an option as well. I don't know.
They did, thankfully.
Well, I don't know if that's the thing. Regardless, I'll find beer one way or another. And I guess, if anything, I should probably pace myself a little bit just because...
You need a beer hat? You need the...
well, in theory.
You know that little thing that hikers have where it's just like a giant bag of water that you just sip on from like a little thing on your shoulder, right? Just like... Just need to fill that with beer instead.
We're gonna be going like all night, right? Like the race tonight should end probably in the neighborhood of like 9:30 or 10 p.m. and then after that, then we get to walk around. So, okay, and there's a golf cart coming. Wait, patience. I've read that apparently they have like all sorts of like shuttle and tram services around that'll take you like different places. So that way it makes it easier to walk around this otherwise very hilly environment. But I'm a man.
Yeah, I'm not a man. It was extremely hilly and extremely tiring after a while. Eventually, I caved and took the tram.
I don't need no tram. I don't need no shuttle.
I kind of did.
Walk everywhere like a true American.
Nah, fuck that.
Hell yeah, bro.
Nah.
So, streamer might have explained this already, but if he didn't, one of the things on the bingo is Dale Jr. wins.
I explained it, streamer.
And for those that might know literally anything about NASCAR, you would know that Dale Jr., aka Dale Earnhardt Jr., all right, the son of Dale Earnhardt, in case that wasn't obvious, was, during this time, the most popular driver in the sport. Now, he retired, I think, like 5 or 6 years ago, something like that, but he still occasionally does races in the lower series, basically for funsies and shits and giggles, because he owns a race team that races in this lower series. So this just so happens to be one of those races, and there's been rumors at least that apparently, it might be his last one ever, so we get to watch Dale Jr. race tonight, which is kind of cool. Dale Jr. One of the OGs from back in my day of being a kid and following NASCAR. And if Dale Jr. wins tonight, that would qualify for the bingo, which would be very exciting. Wow. All right. Gate 13. That seems like a gate. I can probably get in here, I assume. Probably works. Oh, I swear I'm not tired yet. No, that'd be pathetic. Gate 13? Right, sure.
I should check out drag racing sometime. I never really got into it, like never followed that before. It doesn't, the idea of it doesn't appeal to me as much as like a race that happens over like a couple of hours instead of just like a few seconds. Because I'm not necessarily like, I don't know, it just seems different to me. So I've never really had the urge to get into it, to be honest.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a spectacle to see in real time in like real life.
I didn't even need it. Once I'm inside, I'll probably be mostly
TV,
shaded,
like,
I would think.
I've seen it. It's just like, okay, there you go.
Am I allowed to bring open containers in here?
Yeah, so when you look at this, it's kind of hilarious to see like what is and isn't allowed. So you can kind of see, hold on, I'll move my camera so you can see better. Cool. So really, it's just like, almost anything goes. Like, yeah, you can bring in a backpack full of beer. Yeah, that's fine. Sunscreen, blah, blah, you want, dude. Pre-packaged food, pre-packaged drinks. Yeah, go for it, dude. Strollers, service animals, obviously. Yeah, insulated cups, sure. Seat cushions, laptops, tablets, cameras, sure. The only thing you're not allowed to bring, like, just don't bring in any firearms. And I'm not sure if you can read this, but just don't bring in any knives longer than 5 inches. Yeah, you can bring some knives. Like, as long as it's shorter than 5 inches, then yeah, bring in your knife. It's all good, I guess. No Confederate flag. They banned that one a few years back, I think. No fireworks. Surprise, surprise. No drones. Yeah, surprise, surprise. You're allowed to bring in soft-walled coolers, but you can't bring like hard-walled coolers. Yeah, no tripods. That one's no selfie sticks, but nothing that says nothing about a chest mount. That one. It was the same policy at Talladega and Indianapolis. So like I made sure to go out of my way to make sure but okay, you can bring like a little chest mounted rig. That one's fine. They don't give a fuck about that. So. I didn't bring the selfie stick. This was on the chest mount, so it was all Gucci. Clutch.
Nothing says no. Okay.
And a loophole, yes sir. I mean, I get it, right? Like a selfie stick, like if you're sticking it out like in the stands, it's gonna block people's view, right? Whereas like if something just like strapped to your chest, it's gonna be fine. It's not gonna obstruct anything. I get it.
Just chug it, obviously. Chug.
Oh, sir? Just enjoying some beer? open container right in front of you. No, whatever.
Those Bass Pro Shops. Okay, okay. Now,
Yeah,
keep
this
in mind,
race, by the way, literally called the Bass Pro Shops Night Race. That's like the official name of the race.
a lot earlier than most people would show up, and the main event is tomorrow, right? So it's not going to be packed tonight. That's kind of why I wanted to use tonight, to be able to explore around and see what there is to see. Okay, got to show my ticket, which is on my phone, so be right back, Chad.
I'll start. Okay. I then proceeded to scan my ticket on my phone, easy enough, and then went through security. I might talk about that experience after, right as I start this next part, so I guess I won't explain it twice. I forgot. Do I explain it? Let's see.
Okay. Hey.
All right, this is also a thing because it was like weird and accidentally vertically filmed, but that's okay. We can save this. Okay, there we go.
And we're in. Nice. So I went through security right here. I asked them like, oh, I'm assuming you need to see your bag.
I'm gonna blow my nose. Let streamer take it away for you.
Right? And they're like, nah, they're good. Just walk through these metal detectors. You're fine. What's in your bag? Yeah, it doesn't matter. I walked right through. Metal detector
Consistent
didn't
with
go
all the
off, even
security
though
I've ever been to at any
4
NASCAR
giant
race.
cans of metal beer in my backpack. So, all right, sure. Go inside. Yeah, sure. Why not? Fuck it. Pretty typical for a NASCAR race based on what I've been to so far. Security? What security? Just, don't bring any, like, knives or large rifles, and you're fine. All right, let's just go in and see what we're looking at here.
So yeah, we talked about the no selfie stick policy, but like in reality, I could have just put one in my backpack. They didn't even check the bag. I was like, ask like, oh, you need to see the bag? They're like, nope, you're good. Just walk through the metal detector. Oh, you're good. In you go. Okay. And like the metal detector must have been searching for only very large quantities of metal, because I walked in with 4 giant metal cans of beer and like some like streaming equipment that was like have metal in it, and my belt, and I didn't have to empty my pockets or anything, like my keys with metal in it. It's just like, go on through. Metal detector just didn't go off, so I was like, oh, okay.
If I'm not mistaken, we're pretty close to when the main series, the one that's racing tomorrow, does their qualifying, so that might be on the track pretty soon. Oh shit, here we are, boys.
We come every year. Last year we won 2nd place.
Holy shit, this place is enormous.
For the money. We love the glory.
Wow. It's like both larger and smaller in real life than like what I'm used to seeing on TV. Holy shit. Just give you a little panorama here, okay? So like, by the way, I'm sitting, I think, like right around,
What's your favorite salute?
well, I don't know where my finger is relative to this, but like over there somewhere.
Seems like a regional guy. So guess what? We got some cool swag.
But yeah, I think that's the main series. I think getting ready to
I'm actually sitting up here, but whatever. I thought that was the front stretch, but this is the front stretch actually.
qualify. Neat. I was kind of hoping to make it in time for this, so neat. Also, I'm pretty sure I'm going to need ear protection pretty soon here. I'm going to go in and put that on now, so that way I don't blow my eardrums out. All right. There we go. Now I can't hear shit, but as long as you can hear shit, Chad, that's what counts. Oh wait, just kidding. This is the front stretch. Okay, so I'm sitting like over here, not over there. I'm sitting in the front stretch, baby. Turn 1. Hell yeah, brother. And I've read that apparently, like, this place is so loud that one layer of ear protection might not be enough. We'll see about that. I've gotten second earplugs if needed, but that feels like it'd be a little bit overkill.
Could fit a village in there. I mean, there kind of is, right? Like these are all like the motor homes and the trailers for all the cars. But yeah, the question I pose is like, how many soccer fields or football fields could you fit in the middle of the infield here to kind of give you a perspective of how large this place was, right? Is because like, you see this enclosed stadium, you think like, oh, maybe that looks like the size of like a college football stadium, and then maybe it's not as impressive. But you got to keep in mind, like, this is a half-mile racetrack, so in reality it's much larger than the size of like what a football field in the middle would be. So we did the calculation with ChatGPT, and ChatGPT told us you can fit 42 standard soccer fields inside of the stadium. So, like, in the infield of the stadium. So, instead of just enclosing one soccer field, it would enclose 42 of them, to give you a sense of the scale of how large this place is.
Man, this place is enormous.
I want you to make a race car noise.
Here's the full panorama, I guess, for you. Oh, shit. So, keep in mind, this is basically tied for the smallest track in the entirety of the NASCAR schedule. It's only a half-mile long, 0.533 miles if you want to be really specific about it. And I believe it's also one of, if not the entirety of the NASCAR schedule. It's only a half mile long.
Fuck me, dude. The problem is I'm
liar,
coughing so
dude.
much I can't just keep
What a
the mic
fucking
unmuted.
Weasley little liar, dude.
It's just gonna not be sick, man. This is so fucking awful, dude. Anyways, so you see this green and orange car here, right? And this car normally is not painted this way. It's normally not like doesn't look this way, but for this weekend specifically, it was painted this way. And I found it pretty funny. I was like, oh shit, apparently I decided to sponsor a car this weekend because this was the car sponsored by Mountain Dew and Doritos. Oh shit. They had the gamer car. He was like, someone made the joke this morning of like the way he drives his car is not a steering wheel, it's using an Xbox controller. So I found this pretty funny. I was like, well, I guess shit, I got to root for this guy now. Unfortunately, this car and driver is not very good, so I don't believe he did all that well in the race, but I can at least respect the fact that he's driving the gamer car. Hell yeah, brother. Sponsored by Twitch chat. Absolutely. It's a cool looking car, by the way. Like, you know, memes aside. I don't know. Looks neat. So yeah, that's it.
0.533 miles if you want to be really specific about it. And I
his name?
believe it's also one of
Daniel
the
Hedrick.
highest banked tracks, so it's a combination of really short and really high banks. You can probably just see it down here. That's steep as fuck. Like maybe I don't know how well you can kind of tell based on just like this angle, but it's steep as fuck. To the point
28
where you'd have
degrees of
difficulty just
banking.
like climbing up that. That'd be a challenge. So yeah. So basically, this is a very short track that's also very fast for its size. Very popular because of that. Alright, so yeah, cool. Actually, they're starting to practice now and then qualify directly after. It's kind of cool to be here before everyone else is here. I kind of appreciate the fact that...
Here's the part where the car's engines start up, and yeah, I keep talking as if you're going to be able to hear me, but yeah, you're not going to be, so I'll just talk over myself.
We'll drop the green flag. Food City 300.
Kind of appreciate the fact that I get to tour while it's still mostly empty before it's, I assume, going to be like a madhouse tomorrow.
So yeah, keep in mind, this is the day before like the main race. And so these are the cars for the main race. And so what they're about to do is they're about to go to the track for like a session of practice. They're just about to like run around in circles without actually racing for a little while. So you're going to see the cars going here in a second, but they're not actually going to be racing yet. And that's why this place is empty, because it's the day before.
I don't know the exact capacity of this place. I think it's something ridiculous, like 160,000 or something.
162,000.
Tell chat, because I don't really know the exact number, but it's a shitload of people. This is basically like twice the. Okay, ask ChatGPT, like how many regular soccer fields, because chat's written like that, how many regular soccer fields can you fit inside the stadium, so that way you can kind of get a gauge of like how big this place is. Either way, I'm just gonna like kind of walk around. Let's walk around the outside first, and then we can always walk around the inside after.
We're going to pick up the action from here as we get set for NASCAR Cup Series practice coming your way.
Alright. And I've got sunglasses. Okay. Sure.
Briscoe, check that. If you're tied, you're down here at the bottom, don't worry about it. You're Danny Hamlin,
Danny Hamlin? Hey, that's the guy I root for.
You're really worried about it. You got to have a good night.
Yeah.
I'm trying to dance, it's going to get very loud.
Being a follower of NASCAR, knowing right now that my boy Denny Hamlin's in danger of being eliminated from their little playoff system, which makes this race kind
Is
of
that
like
screen in the center suspended by cables? Yeah, so I was looking at that earlier, right? So, yeah, it's...
regular soccer.
There's no tower that's holding it up, right?
Regular soccer
And hopefully I turn to the right here at some point. Okay, yeah, perfect. So yeah, it's really cool. This screen suspended in the center. There's 4 giant like metal towers that are like outside the stadium, and they all have these giant cables that all collectively suspend this giant screen in the middle. And it might not look like that big from this perspective, but it's massive. It's a screen that I don't know like in the actual dimensions of it, but it's basically big enough to the point where you can see around this entire half-mile track. You can see very clearly that on any seat or at any seat. So yeah, the in person, like you could really appreciate the sheer scale and like size of like this entire hanging thing. It was really impressive. I didn't boo for Denny. I'm a Denny Hamlin enjoyer. I'm a Denny Hamlin fan. He's one of the few OGs left from back when I followed NASCAR as a kid. So like, I listened to his podcast as well. I'm just like, damn, Yeah, he keeps it real. He's obviously a controversial driver, I guess, in many ways.
All right. And I've got sunglasses. Okay.
Someone's got to support him, so I do.
Sure.
Yeah. There's Denny Hamlin fans around. You'll see people wearing Denny Hamlin stuff. It's not just me. There's dozens of us. Dozens.
Denny Hamlin. Hey, that's the guy I root for. Being a follower of
I'd call Denny
NASCAR,
misunderstood.
My boy Denny
I think he
Hamlin
gets too much hate.
being eliminated from their little playoff system makes this race kind of like have some pretty high stakes. So, Chad might not care about it, but I do. That's loud. Okay. Well, there they go. Man, there are some people that don't have any earplugs on. How the fuck do they do that? I don't know. I'm gonna go down here though. This looks cool.
Yeah, I'm the same way, PC Bird. I was a Jeff Gordon fan as well. When I came back, like I just latched on to Denny because of his podcast. And here's the part where I keep talking. You can't hear a goddamn thing. Okay. So, Wastegated asking earlier if it was loud. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. Now, I'm going to turn it up to full volume for just a split second, okay? Just to give you a true appreciation for just how deafeningly loud this was. Okay, so ear rape incoming. Here's your warning. It's just going to be for a couple of seconds. Yeah, it's kind of loud. Yeah, would not recommend just coming in here with the raw virgin ears because you'll fuck them up. Definitely need earplugs and or ear muffs. But it's such a raw, visceral experience when you're standing this close. It's really cool. You feel that shit vibrating in your chest, and the entire place, the entire stadium will just vibrate. You can just feel that the grandstands collectively all just vibrating as the cars go by. It's really cool. What's insane to me is the drivers inside the cars. You think it's loud here, it must be just even louder when you're inside the car. It's kind of crazy to think about. Sounds like a tornado just funnels in the track like it never really escapes. Yeah, this track is in particular so loud because basically all the noise just reverberates throughout the entire grandstands. It kind of echoes back on itself, right? Most tracks are more open air. You're not gonna get that same echo effect, but this track, yeah, just echoes everywhere and amplifies the noise. It's unlike Indianapolis and Talladega, which would be the cars would go by, it'd be really fucking loud, and once they all went by, it'd go back to relatively normal volume, and you could hear everything just fine. Bristol's not like that, because number one, it's such a short track that cars are all over the track the entire time, and number two, because of this echo effect that I'm talking about, it's just constantly loud the whole time. There's never a point where it's not loud. It's quite the experience. Now that being said, as long as you're wearing hearing protection, it's it's loud, but it's not loud to the point where it's painful. It's just bearably loud. It'd be the same as if you're listening to in the headphones right now. So, hearing protection is a must for sure. As long as you have that on, you're Gucci, and then you can appreciate the noise and not have to suffer because of it. You can get that close. Yeah, you can. That's a really cool aspect. It's just you literally be 5 feet away from the track surface. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. One thing you might have seen earlier that I'm not sure I showcased enough was there was this hole in the fence right here, this one right here, where this little gate had been turned down. This is literally just open air straight in the track. You could have just, a little kid absolutely could have fit through here and just jumped through here. Or hell, I could fit through there too. And you're allowed to stand right here. So this must have been an oversight. Extremely dangerous. Somebody absolutely could fit through here. So a little kid was poking his head out because he wanted to get a better view, and his brother was fucking with him, so he pushes him in. A kid could absolutely fall through there and just get absolutely demolished by a car. So that was a little sketch. Glad nothing happened there, but definitely maybe a bit of an oversight safety wise. I assume that little gate exists for photography purposes, but yeah, kind of sketch. There's only like half the cars on track right now. That's where the Mario Kart style power-ups come out of? Okay, okay. That blue shell would be fucking OP on this track. Or green shells for that matter, so they just bounce around in there without being able to escape ever. Yeah. Gotta make the great climb up. I never cared for watching races at Bristol on TV, at least. Obviously, live events have their own appeal regardless of that. I think I talk about this later in the recording, but even if you don't give a fuck about NASCAR, I would highly, highly recommend you just go to a race in person, just for the experience. Like, hell, you don't even have to stay for the race if you don't want to, but just go for the experience. Go for like the feeling, like the actual physical feeling you get when the cars go by. Go for just seeing the fascinating sea of humanity that goes to these races. Go for just like all the absurd merchandise that you'll see outside the track that's being sold. And just go to like, just enjoy yourself, drink cheap beer, and just have a good time. I appreciate that not everybody cares about racing and doesn't appreciate the, I guess the entertainment aspect of the racing itself, but you don't need to be entertained by the race itself to have a good time, in my opinion, at one of these. Yeah, especially at Bristol. Unfortunately, the racing's just not been very good lately. With some exceptions, but unfortunately the race this weekend was kind of a stinker. I shouldn't say kind of, it was a stinker. Still trying to talk to you guys as if you would be able to hear me. Why was it so bad? Basically, it was a couple of reasons. Number one, it was really difficult for cars to pass, and there were multiple reasons as to why that was the case, but it was hard for cars to pass, so because of that, one guy ended up leading like 90% of the laps, and won in like absolutely dominating fashion, which on its own doesn't make like necessarily the race bad, but the fact that like even like further back in the field, like people were just having trouble passing anybody made it underwhelming. And also the tires didn't wear out at all. That was something that a lot of people were expecting, and unfortunately, when the tires don't wear out in the cars, they never get slower enough to the point where they have to like make a pit stop like while they're racing. So basically, like they've got stage breaks where like they'll throw out the caution flag and mean the cars slow down and can come onto pit road and change their tires like when the cars are all going slower. So what that means is like if they're not ever doing pit stops while they're doing like the actual green flag racing, it creates much less intrigue because there's a lot less strategy at like when that's the case, and there's just a lot less like comers and goers basically. Yeah, and yeah, I mean like if you're a NASCAR fan, you know the specific reasons. I do too, but I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty. But yeah, basically combination of no passing due to many factors and no tire wear. Yeah, this was by far the worst Bristol race I've ever seen, unfortunately. And that's too bad, because the one this spring was so fucking good, because the tires wore the hell out in that race. It was bad because the people building the track forgot to add right-hand turns. Oh yeah, like, let's remember last year where Max Verstappen won every single fucking race by like almost an entire lap. Oh, let get off your high fucking horse as if like, oh, well, F1 races are always entertaining. Like, get the fuck out of here. F1's the best car sports. I'm not trying to say that F1's bad. I mean, we've had this discussion before. When people try to say why F1 is so much better than NASCAR, they always bring up points that are just like really stupid. Like, oh, well, they turn right and left. Okay, well, NASCAR has road courses as well where they turn right and left. And also, what is more inherently entertaining about them turning right and left instead of just left? They're still going ultimately in one circle. They're still just doing the same racetrack over and over and over and over again for hours in a row. Like, there's still many tracks where they can't fucking pass at all. Yeah, Monaco comes to mind, right? Where it's just like, yeah, 1st through 10th when they started that way, finished 1st through 10th. Sometimes you'll have just the same guy dominate the entire race and there'll never be a pass for the lead the whole time. Like, look, I appreciate F1. I've watched some races whenever it's like a convenient time, like when the race is on. I think it's good. I think it's fine. I'm not trying to say F1's bad. I think it's on par with the entertainment of NASCAR. But to imply like you're some like superior sport is like silly, because like at the end of the day, all the interesting aspects of F1 have the same. There's the same interesting factors in NASCAR as well. There's no talent in NASCAR. Driving in circles, anyone can do it. You know, I am glad you brought that up. You ever heard of Shane Van Gisbergen before? Let me bring this guy up here. Shane Van Gisbergen. He is extremely famous in Australia, I hear. He's he raced in the Supercars series for a very long time. And Supercars series being one that races on exclusively road courses, as far as I know. So they race in places like, for example, I don't know, give me... places like this, for example. All right, yeah, pretty typical road course. Or places like this, whatever. Oh my, it's got that little dick there. So this guy, insanely successful. I believe he won 81 races and 3 championships, 2016, 2021, 2022. So one of the best road course racers in the entire world. Last year, he decided, okay, you know what? I'm going to NASCAR. I'm going to race in NASCAR. It's time to race with some of the big boys. Now, whenever NASCAR does a road course race, he does really well. So, like, I believe the series he races in has done 4 road course races this year, and he has won 3 of them. So clearly, his talent from road courses translates to NASCAR. He wins the road courses very, very frequently. However, he's been complete dog shit at oval tracks. I think of the like 24 something oval tracks they've raced at this year, he's finished in the top 10 3 times. And so clearly, a man who's extremely skilled at racing on road courses, apparently, you know, you're saying like, well, there's no talent in NASCAR. You're driving in circles. Anyone can do it. Well, apparently this guy's not that great at it. And like, if you're going to tell me, well, this guy has no talent, then I'd like you to point out to me who exactly does. If a NASCAR driver was going into F1, how do you think he would do in that race? Probably about as well as he's done on the oval races. Like, I'm sorry, man, but like, if you want to say that like the racing's not the same, you're correct about that. It's a different style of racing. Absolutely. But if you want to try to make the argument that like, oh, well, it takes no talent to do this, like you're telling me this guy has no talents, I'll give you another example. I'm sure you've heard of Juan Pablo Montoya, right? Winner of the Monaco Grand Prix. He also won open wheel racing championship in the U.S. as well. So what he had 7 wins in F1 back in the day. Yeah, this guy came to do NASCAR full time as well. You want to know how many times he won? 2 times. And he raced, I believe, for like about 10 years. And they were both road courses. He never won in an oval. And what was his best ever points finish? Let's see here. Here we go, NASCAR. His best ever points finish was 8th one year, and every other year, 20th, 25th. This is like the overall season points. 21st, 22nd, 21st. Extremely talented F1 driver. Won a ton of open wheel races. Won the Monaco Grand Prix, I believe. So if you want the answer to your question as to how a NASCAR driver would do if he came over to F1, he would probably do about as well as an F1 driver would do if they came over to NASCAR, which is not very well. So look, man, I'm not trying to say that like, oh, well, NASCAR drivers are more talented. Who knows? That's impossible to measure. But whenever I see people imply they're like, F1 takes so much more skill, F1 drivers are better, oh, F1 is a superior racing series and everything about it's superior. Like, you say that, but there has been crossover, and there's some very obvious examples of like why that like a very good F1 racer isn't like by default, well, he's better at everything. Like, well, he's obviously not. Just like I agree that like if a NASCAR racer went to F1, they wouldn't immediately be good. Fair. But get off your high fucking horse. It's like, well, clearly there's no debate here. Like, at the end of the day, they're all racing cars in circles. F1's going in circles too. Yeah, they'll do a little squigglies along the way, but they're still doing the same track over and over again. The car doesn't matter as much in NASCAR as it does in F1. We can get into semantics here all we want, but hopefully I've proven my point. All right? Kyrux has fallen rather silent, hasn't he? It's a bit more overtakes in F1? No, it's less, if anything. It's much more difficult to overtake in an F1 race than it is in a NASCAR race. This track in particular, I'll admit that it was tough to overtake, but like even then, I'm sure there was more overtakes in this race than there was in a typical F1 race. No way? Bro. Have you ever even watched a NASCAR race in your life? Because you're trying to like just talk about how F1's so superior, but you clearly seem to know nothing actually about how NASCAR works, because I've watched both. Have you? Because I get the feeling you haven't based on the way you're talking. Also, what's up, Murloc? Coming to help the gift the tier 1 sub to It's Nighttime. Wow. Thank you, sir. Your sub will go directly to the Hot Pockets and Rios one. And yes, NASCAR also does road courses, yeah. They drive in circles. Why am I even arguing with you? Now I'm just, what you're asking, you're arguing points I've already like addressed here. Would you like to see something that's going to blow your mind, man? You're more into F1? Well, you're clearly only into F1, which is totally fine, but you obviously know nothing about NASCAR, so like, and you're trying to make arguments against NASCAR when you actually know nothing about it. It's just like, if you want to say you're not informed enough to have an opinion on NASCAR, fair, but like, you know the track that F1's racing on this upcoming weekend, the next F1 race? Oh, look. Wow, it's the same track. Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, wow, it's NASCAR. They're racing there. Oh, cool.
That is a 2:12. That's fast. He is laying some lap downs early. Reddick is in the ball game there. 2:12.93 out of him. 2:12.48 for your leader, William Byron. Fast race car.
Yeah, and that's...
Mainly driving circles? And anything to say to this?
I think that the
apparently F1 drives in the same circle.
They seem to
this
be
weekend,
able to
in
hold
fact.
on. So it'll be interesting to see if William Byron can hold on to this pace or if it's
anything?
just for a handful of
anything?
laps.
Yeah, short run
what's the cope for this one?
Good on restarts, but here today we know long runs are going to be key.
Oh, what a shot right here, Clayton. We got our drone flying through the S's, and as you come down from turn 1 and you come down the elevation into those S's, such a rhythm section.
This is new NASCAR? Uh-huh. And?
Byron out to a 1.6 second lead on Reddick. Gibbs within
2024 NASCAR? It is, yeah. Uh-huh.
Cindric trying to keep Chase Elliott at bay with Allmendinger and Kyle Busch right behind to fill out the top 10. No Fords qualified in the top 10, but Cindric.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay, there you go.
Anyways, a top 10 car.
Back to the NASCAR stream.
Just had a car in front of.
Anyways, let's ban this dude. It just feels so wrong. They were meant to go in circles. Oh my god, man. Look, I know this stereotype exists. Like, well, they drive left. They turn left. They drive in circles. Which, like, on some tracks, yeah, true. But to imply that number 1 takes no skill, and B to imply that like it's some like inferior version of racing because of it. Like, number 1, it's all subjective, and number 2, like. I kind of proved my point already as to why it's obviously not something that takes no skill. Hey, to admit I won this. Look, I'm not trying to say you have to like this. I get that it doesn't appeal to everyone. Just, accept that it does have some appeals to some people. Similar appeals to F1 in many regards. Watching them, you're a NASCAR fan, been watching for years, but watching them race on F1 is weird, or an F1 track. I agree. Okay, memes aside, I agree that honestly, their races at COTA are really fucking boring. They've got better road courses than that, yeah. NASCAR's electric cars? No, do you hear this? Does this sound electric to you? Sir. Ain't no electricity from what I'm hearing, brother. That's pure American V8 power right there. What? Huh? Electric cars. Get that weak, commie European shit out of here. How long till they make NASCAR electric? They actually showed off a prototype that was like a hybrid electric car earlier this year. I don't think they'll ever make the main series like electric, but they might come out with their own like electric series or something. I don't know. I hope not. Like, one of the main cool parts about NASCAR is that they're like pure V8s and they make that cool sound. I would never want them to get rid of that. That's like part of the appeal in my opinion. It's me like talking about how like might be tendy time pretty soon because we have to find our tendies, of course. NASCAR cars look weird on an F1 track. Can't lie. The conditioning to see them on ovals and open wheel on road tracks is strong. NASCAR's always raced at road courses. They've become more common on the schedule in the past like decade. They used to, I think, only race on a couple of road courses a year, but now I think they race on like 6 or 7 a year. So it's become more common. What's the other car race who looks like NASCAR? As in, like, will the cars look similar? It's gonna blow your mind, dude, but perhaps maybe the NASCAR Wellen Euro Series? That. There you go. These guys, I guess. Also, you could argue, like, IMSA, like the series that does 24 hours of, like, Le Mans, right? It's sort of similar. Not exactly the same, but, like, these cars definitely share some similarities. Yeah, I mean, those look actually very similar. There you go. Anyways, yeah, you still can't hear jack shit from what I was saying. What's more popular in the USA, F1 or NASCAR? I can tell you like 20 years ago the answer was most certainly NASCAR. Nowadays, I'm not sure. F1 definitely blew up in the US in the past like decade or so, especially since that Netflix series came out. You're saying NASCAR far and away? Is it though? I don't know. I don't know exactly how you would quantify it, but like, I don't know. Let's see. Like, what was the last? What was the last F1 race? Monza. Monza F1 plus TV ratings. That's surprising. So last year for the US F1 Grand Prix, rating of 0.47, NASCAR was 1.3. Damn, okay, so I guess NASCAR is still significantly ahead. I didn't realize that. I kind of figured F1 had caught up more. Yeah, so I'm talking about here, you can't hear me talking like this, but basically I'm talking about how, like, the seats at this track, like, basically every seat is a good seat. No matter what seat you're sitting in at this track, you can see the entire track. Like, when I went to Talladega and Indianapolis, those tracks are so enormous that, like, you can't see the majority of the track most of the time. Like, you can see just, like, the part that you're sitting next to, and otherwise you just have to watch the TV screens. But this place is cool in that, like, no matter where you're sitting, you'll see the whole track, right? Because it's a small track, so you can have good viewing angles regardless of where you are. What's the ticket price for NASCAR? That's definitely an upside versus F1. Depends on the track, is what I've noticed. When I went to Indianapolis earlier this year, it's insanely cheap. The cheapest ticket, just general admission to get you in the door, is $45. Insane deal. And then for this race, it was definitely more expensive. This one, I was a little surprised how expensive it was. I think that the cheapest ticket to get in, like where you don't even have an assigned seat, it's just like, I don't know, we'll assign you one, is $60. So it's actually pretty reasonable. But if you want to get like one of the quote like good seats, although ironically there weren't really any like really good seats that are better than others at this track, I think it was closer to like $90. And then I got like the weekend combo deal where I got the combo to go to both races. So I got like a relatively good seat for both races for $180. So still not bad. I mean, like, based on what I've heard about F1 prices, it's still insanely cheap compared to that. Talladega last year, I think I paid like $120 or something for my ticket. That was for a good seat, though. So yeah, very reasonable. What's the U.S. Grand Prix ticket prices? Here's the U.S. Grand Prix. That's better than I thought, actually. That's not bad. Just for the 1 day just Grand Prix ticket, $250. I mean, it's still a lot more than a NASCAR race, but it's still like that's not as bad as I thought. I assume something like the Las Vegas Grand Prix is a bit more insane. Talking like on stream right now, this entire stadium just vibrates like while the car's on the track. It's really cool. But around 10K. Yeah, it's probably a lot. Jesus Christ, man. Alright, just a little more expensive. You want to sit in one of the grandstands? Minimum, that'll be $1,500. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Yeah, no thanks. I'm good, dog. People have been talking about it like, oh, you should go to an F1 race next. I'm like, I'd be down to go. But, because I would be curious to see like how the differences are. But like, I ain't paying $1,500 to go to Vegas. And that's just for the ticket to the race. Now, Coda, we just looked at that. That's actually more reasonable. I could totally do that. $150 for the race day. Yeah, I can do that. Or, well, no, $250, but still, like, all right. Better pray they don't do a NASCAR Netflix show. They actually already have. They did come out with one last year, but clearly it wasn't as popular. I need a subathon for F1 tickets. Might be a little late for this year's race at this point. Might have missed the boat on that one. We start doing a subathon for the Vegas Grand Prix. That's in like November, right? Were there urinal troughs? No, it wasn't troughs. It was actually dedicated urinal stalls. Wow. How first world of them. Yeah, I'm talking about the sheer size of this place is ridiculous. It's extremely impressive, just the marvel of engineering of this place and how like just enormous it is. What's the average crowd attendance of these races? Well, this track holds 162,000. So back in NASCAR's heyday, like 20 years ago, when it was like at its peak popularity, it would fill the entire stadiums. They would get 162,000. Nowadays, the popularity fell off for sure since like the peak days. So the race for this one, the one I went to, I guess spoiler alert, but ended up getting an 120K, which is still a fuckload, right? Like the track was only 3/4 full, but that was still 120,000 people. So most races don't get that many, in fairness. I think nowadays they probably average like 60 to 80,000 per race, which is still obviously a lot. But back in NASCAR's heyday, they'd be getting like 100K plus like every race. NASCAR's the common man sport? What? I don't know what you're talking about. What makes you say that? I've seen a bunch of civilized, super bougie people at these so far at this race. Jesus, yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. Now, keep in mind, like I said, it's empty right now because this is the day before the race, and this is just the practice session. But yeah, for the actual race itself, a lot of people. By the way, I'll be showing day 2. I'll be showing the actual race day tomorrow. It'll be the part 2 of the NASCAR stream. For those NASCAR enjoyers in chat, you could already tell the tire situation was not going to be nearly as interesting as the spring race. You could already see, even during practice, the track was already rubbered in. You could already tell, like, there's no way it's going to wear like it did in the spring. It was depressingly obvious, like, already at this point. Get a scope of the size of the stadium from here. Yeah, like, it's like this. Like I said, the scale of this place is just insane. And then you can just imagine what it's like once it's actually like full of people. Yeah, like we calculated earlier, you could fit 42 soccer fields in the middle of this, the infield of this, to give you some perspective on just how massive it is. Who knows how big a soccer field is, though? Shit's probably in metric. Sorry, I forgot there's NA hours. Let me put that in terms we can understand. I'm talking about football fields, brother. So what's this day? So I was going to... There was 2 races. Well, actually, there's 3 races this weekend. So this is similar to like how F1 has, like... There's F1, the main series, and they also have like the lower series. Like they have F2, F3. NASCAR has something similar. It's got like the main series, like the top tier series. and that the race for the top tier series was the next day after this day. But this day, it's the practice session and the qualifying session for the main series, and then after that, the second tier series was racing that night. So, your ticket for today would get you in for all of it, right? It would get you in for the main series practice, the main series qualifying, and then the secondary series race that would happen that night. So this right here is about, this was like 3 hours before the secondary series race started. How do they do qualifiers, lap times like F1? Yeah, basically, same sort of thing, right? Each car goes one at a time, and they order them based on the lap times, yeah. Cops telling the people to get away from the fence. Sorry, you can't stand here. Sorry, you can't stand here. Fuck the police. How dare they interrupt our fun. Trucks used to be fun to watch now and then, but when they wrecked, it was usually pretty wild. I don't watch the trucks at all. Oh, how adorable. NASCAR kids. Hell yeah, brothers and sisters. Saw this morning. That I believe is for the bingo right there. A guy flipping the bird. Guy just casually standing next to the fence, flipping off a driver. There it is. And so I was wondering, like, who is he flipping off? Yeah, it was Joey Logano. I was like, that makes sense. If you know NASCAR, it's just like, oh, all right, that's who he's flipping off. Yeah, that checks out. What kind of food did I get? Burgers and tendies? Well, I had to try the tendies because the tendies, I've been like trying tendies at each NASCAR track that I go to. That's coming later. You'll see that. And then the second night, I believe I had a bratwurst. A brat with all the fixins. You know, typical sports food, right? Gotta do it. It's part of the experience. So the cool part about this is that during this period of the practice session, and really throughout the entire weekend, frankly, you can just walk anywhere. Like, you know, your ticket says like, okay, here's where your assigned seat is, but like in reality, it's very similar to all the other tracks that I've been to. They didn't check at all. You could literally walk anywhere and sit anywhere, and especially obviously during this time where like it's pretty empty. You can sit anywhere you want, right? That's not like you'd be worried about sitting in someone else's seat. So that part was pretty cool. Got like multiple different perspectives of the track. Yeah, so they had this entire little bar set up here. Like, it was kind of cool, like serving like fancy cocktails and shit if you wanted them. And then like they had little bar, stand-up like bar seating, so you could like go and watch the track while you're enjoying your fancy cocktail. That was kind of cool. I didn't get one. I had plenty of cheap beer to drink instead, but that was kind of neat. Yeah, there was a lot of stairs to climb. I was definitely tired by the end of the weekend after not only climbing a shitload of stairs, but a shitload of hills. Yeah, what's up, Sec XD? That was my nap. I never got one. I was fixing OBS audio the entire time. Yay. So, yeah, I still got this cough and still feel like shit, but I'm just gonna eat dinner after. Well, I ate dinner, but I'm gonna eat something after this and just go straight to fucking bed, man. Chicken Shack, hell yeah, brother. I better get my tendies right here. Yes, sir.
Oh, they got tendies already. They got some fucking tendies.
Oh, they got tendies.
$2, Jesus.
Yeah, the tendies were $15. What a scam, man.
Tendies later, aren't they?
Oh, well, you can't. Yeah, $15 tendies. It's a sporting event. It makes sense, but still, like they know they got you trapped, and they're scamming you for $15 tendies. Booty. Yeah, 3-piece tendies. Yeah, I get it. It happens at every sports event, not just NASCAR. But it's just like, ugh, bro. Did I get any moonshine? I did not. I did have some moonshine over the course of my trip. I'll tell that story some other time, but they did serve moonshine here. I believe the brand of this thing, like Sugarlands, I believe was a moonshine brand. Yeah, but basically, like, I feel like mass-produced, like, name brand moonshine is like not the moonshine you're looking for, right? You're looking for the shit that some guy made in his bathtub. Yeah, you're saying legal moonshine sucks ass. Yeah, like, from what I've been told, it's just not the same. Yeah, I want that shit that some guy made in a barrel in his backyard. Exactly, dude. Talking about how like the souvenir stuff probably better outside the track.
Boring stuff. Not cheap, but it's definitely not cheap.
How much have you missed of the night stream? We're about 2 hours in.
Boring stuff. The family-friendly merch. That's no fun. I don't care about seeing that. Hoodie. Come on.
Dude,
Alright, last little view, and I think for now we'll call it good enough. We still have plenty of late-night shenanigans to go.
It takes more money and skill to get shine that doesn't taste like Sharpie smell and smells like burning wet dogs.
That's a big-ass screen right there.
Well, get loud again. Yeah, by the way, like, I did the stream earlier today for those that are coming in late. I did the NASCAR stream already earlier, but the audio sound on the VOD was fucked up, so I'm doing it again. That's why I'm streaming at night, but, at least this time around, I feel less rushed now that I'm doing it, because, like, I was trying to beat, like, I had a raid, like, later in the stream earlier today, so I was like, well, fuck, I gotta finish before the race, so I was gonna, or sorry, before the raid, so I was kind of trying to rush through it a little bit, I felt. This time around, there's no raid, obviously, so I can just, like, take all the time I want. I'm trying not to make it, like, too long, but I know it's getting kind of late, but yeah. All right, anyways, so I ended up sitting back and just, just enjoying the scenery for a bit and just enjoying the stuff. So that was, just took some pictures of the overall aesthetic, if you will. Wow. That's the same picture, though. Okay. So yeah, that got like the wide angle view of the track. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Once again, just gives you a sense of scale of this place. Fucking enormous, man. All right, basically the same picture. Sure. Little panoramic view. Seat I was sitting in. Alright, so here's the qualifying that I was talking about earlier. This was the main series doing qualifying. So yeah, as you can see, they just go one at a time and time their laps. This is Ross Chastain right here. Hell yeah, brother. It's insane even how loud like one of these cars are, let alone like 36 of them. There you go. He was number one at the time. He was number one. Smitty Werbin Jaegerman Jansen. This is Kyle Larson, I believe. He's like arguably the best driver right now in NASCAR. Spoiler alert, also the guy who ended up winning the race. How many laps is the race? It is 500 laps. Well, the one the first night was 300. The one the second night is 500. So the race itself, posted this on Discord. Gotta enjoy, show myself enjoying some cars, going in circles while I drink some cheap beer. Hell yeah, brother. So the race on Friday night probably took about 2 hours, and the race on Saturday night probably took like 3 hours, something like that. There was some Dale Earnhardt imagery. This is just at the track. Go tribute picture to Dale. Hell yeah, man. There he is. Man, the myth, the legend himself. Hell yeah, brother. Just a random photo of me sitting in the stands, sure. So, saw this guy walking around, saw this, is like, I thought this was fucking hilarious. I was like, dude, can I take a picture of your shirt? He was like, hell yeah, man, go ahead. So, regardless of your feelings on politics or Trump or whatever, I just found this fucking hilarious. I saw this shirt many times throughout the weekend, actually. Clearly, it was something they were selling around the track, but I found it amusing. All right, and so eventually, between when the qualifying session ended and when the race started, I actually walked back to my car so that way I could reload on the beer. And so this was kind of like the general view, like getting closer to sunset from my my campsite in my quote tent right here. I gotta say, very scenic. Like the track itself is cool, but even the surrounding area was beautiful and had a nice little view to wake up with in the morning. That was cool. Okay, and now we'll get to the driver introductions, if you will. So Remember earlier I was talking about how like Dale Earnhardt Jr. was in this race? Oh shit! They go. Oh, okay. Yep. Yep. Okay. Might get a Dale Jr. sighting. Junior.
Starting 13, unite the number 80 helmet Chevrolet from California, North Carolina.
Dale Jr. There he is, NASCAR Jesus. The vast majority of the people at this race were rooting for him. It's kind of funny, the difference between the cheering for him and everyone else. They get him to sign my tits. He signed my dick, actually. All 2 inches of it. New car? No, it was a rental car. The story is earlier in the stream, but basically, I flew to a city nearby and rented a car there. All right, so there you go, and then a little closer to when the race is right about to start.
The Van Zandt Church of Christ in Van Zandt, Virginia, offers tonight's invocation.
One of the hilarious things I find about NASCAR is that it's like such a NASCAR thing. They have like a religious dude like give like an invocation before the race starts, and basically thank Jesus and thank God for this amazing NASCAR race we're about to have.
Come to you through and in the name of your Son Jesus, thanking Him for this beautiful weather, thanking Him for this event, its host and its sponsor.
Because I'm sure God is a NASCAR fan.
Thanks God for all the men and women who have and who are and who will be serving in our armed forces. And while we are in your presence, God, we are just grateful for your grace.
There's Shane Van Gisbergen, like I talked about
We
earlier.
ask that you provide for us a safe and entertaining race. In Jesus' name, amen.
Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome singer, songwriter, and red light management artist, Grace Tyler.
Who? Who? Never faulted them for a prayer before races that have a history of killing people in quite violent ways. Shockingly enough, no one's died in a NASCAR race since Dale Earnhardt. That was 23 years ago. Not a single person's died since. Kind of shocking, actually. Cars have gotten much safer since then. That's a large reason. You know, when we did the stream earlier, nobody was saluting. A bunch of filthy Europeans in chat don't respect the national anthem. Oh. Has there been any sick crashes? Hell yeah, all the time. But now they don't die when it happens. Kind of nice. Turn it up a little bit here. Oh, it's just so beautiful. That's how you salute. I think so. USA, USA. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, there you go, there you go. And I believe the next clip should be right before this. Okay. So this is the start of the race right here. Gonna be loud as fuck again, turn that one down. So this is the secondary race, like I said, so, you know, it's not as full, but still, I mean, like, you know, considering how many people this track holds, if I had to venture to guess, it was probably still like 60,000 people here. It was still impressive. There we go. Just have to do that 300 times. So yeah, unfortunately, both the race the following night and this one, frankly, were kind of boring. They were kind of stinkers. It's too bad. Hell yeah, brothers. What was this photo I took? I don't know, just during the race, just showing off, I guess. Talked about this guy earlier, yeah. So this dude right here, The following night, I didn't notice him at all this night when I took this picture, but the following night, this dude got like belligerently drunk, and he was like standing up like every lap, like cheering his driver on, standing up, and he was like flipping off like other drivers as they went by, and just being just generally kind of just very disruptive. I didn't particularly care that much, but there were some people around him that were clearly got kind of pissed at him. Like one lady went over to be like, just like, settle down, kid. And yeah, he was kind of a bit of a hellraiser, if you will. But whatever, I didn't care that much. Okay, and then I believe next up we have, it might be tendy time.
It's tendy time, baby.
Hell yeah, dude, tendy time. So this is during one of the cautions.
2/3 of the way through the race that we've been watching so far tonight. I've enjoyed myself.
F1's 100% having more people in the seats than this.
It's so empty, no one's there.
Okay, here's the following night. All right, you happy, bud? Place is fucking full. All right. I mean, how many fans do F2 races get? That's the real comparison.
All right, let's get some tendies, babies.
Streamer's still trying to talk into the microphone as if people can hear him. Tendies. It's not my birthday. So I'm saying for the bingo, for those interested, Dale Jr. at this point was in 9th place. So, you know, still possible that he could pull the win out. Not a terrible position. There's 36 cars in the field, I believe, so 9th place. Not bad. Not bad.
Winning the race is me consuming some tendies in the next 5 minutes or so.
Drag racing in its form is the one that's still killing people now and then. Yeah, didn't John Force like get in like some like horrific accident recently? I know he didn't die, but didn't he like get like seriously injured? And definitely hard to make things safe if you're going however fast they go, like 300 miles an hour or something insane.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Yeah, 330.
Dude, there's literally a sign, okay? In case you were curious. Oh.
Pointed everything American that you need to find here. Got some grab and goes, tendies and corn dogs, some tacos, burgers, dogs, Domino's pizza, some beer, beans, and barbecue. Philly cheese nachos, got a little Sugarland Shine, moonshine over there. Hell yeah, brother.
He's to the left. Well, don't mind if I do.
Pointed me towards the tendies, much appreciated.
Sign. I know it's tendy time.
Yeah, the stand that is just beans. That's a little confusing, but like, I mean, I like beans. Sure, why not?
All right, fair enough. Let's see what we can find. It's been a lot of fun so far. You know, if you live in the United States, I would highly recommend you go to a NASCAR race. Not necessarily because the race itself is insanely exciting. If you don't give a fuck about racing, then like I get it. Like it's just cars going in circles, whatever. Yeah. But man, the experience, the feeling, the physical sensation of just being at a race, it's pretty fucking cool. I would highly recommend it to anybody.
Sure, I'll receive my English citizenship after saying that.
The actual race. Just
beans and toast, isn't it?
Just go to see what it's like. Stay in the campground for one night. Walk around. Drink beer. Look at people. Enjoy just the...
Where are my tendies? Come on now.
...feeling of what middle
Oh, here we go. I think we found them.
Oh, yes, sir. Time to get scammed for $15, yeah.
$15 tendies, yeah. Kind of a scam. Alright, this is just me just standing in line now for the next like 5 minutes, so we'll just kind of skip ahead. We have beans and toast in the US, we just do better. Do we? Beans and toast? When the fuck do we have beans and toast in the US? That's not really a thing. Let's not get ourselves here. Yeah, no, not a thing. Not that I'm saying it's bad, I've had it, it's tasty. I mean, it tastes like beans on toast, but not really a US thing. Okay. Give me my tendies.
Can I get the chicken tenders?
Sag.
Hello. Can I get the chicken tenders?
Dude, yeah, I had to fight the urge not to say tendies.
Nope, that's it.
I get her number? I can't say that I did. Not trying to pick up some random chick at the concession stand. Streamer Smart did not show him paying with his card this time around. Smart, because I definitely fucked that up when I went to the Indianapolis race.
5 minutes for the fries. 3 to 5 minutes.
Okay, that's fine.
Wait, 5 minutes for the fries? Bro. That's the whitest order of chicken tendies? What other way do you order chicken tendies? I'm sorry. I usually say, yo, hey man, I need some of them tendies, man. I need a tendy stack. You want a double time, man? Like, what? Like,
this bitch just told me I have to wait 5 minutes for the fries. Are you kidding me? Also, I've made this mistake before in the past NASCAR race streams where I showed my be paying with my card. Not today. I've learned. I'm a professional streamer now. Alright, I'm gonna wait 5 minutes for fries.
incoming the fastest 5 minutes you've ever seen. Oh shit.
That was a very fast 5 minutes. Thank you. Yes, please.
Thanks some ketchup. Thank you. Napkins.
Where are the napkins?
She tried to get me to go away without even getting napkins. He was into me. That's why she got.
5 minutes of my
clearly.
life.
That's why she got gave them to me so fast. Want some tendies so bad right now, dude. I'm already hungry after my tiny ass depressing dinner. I'll do some tendies as well.
All right, let's. Oh, okay. Look at these tendies right here.
Okay, so there you go. Like I said earlier, I rated the Indianapolis tendies very highly. Very tasty, extremely crunchy, great texture, a lot of chicken in the middle, good size, awesome. And then you had the Talladega tendies that were complete dog shit tier, F tier, looked like little mini turds. These were like somewhere in the middle. These were not as good as the Indianapolis tendies, but they were certainly better than the Talladega tendies. I, of course, devoured them, and they were, I mean, they're tendies. They were still very tasty.
All right. They're not as depressing as the Talladega tendies. I mean, that's already an improvement. Are they going to be as good as the Indy tendies? I don't know, but I'm definitely hungry enough to the point where, like, even if they're like super fucking mid tendies, I'm going to destroy them. Either way, like they're going to be tasty. Let's not fucking kid ourselves here. I should have gotten barbecue sauce. She said like, you want some ketchup? I was like, sure, but I should have.
I should have gotten barbecue sauce, but that's okay.
I got one more race. I got
ketchup on tendies is still tasty.
The cool part is, this is really just the preview.
You with ketchup? Yeah.
This is the preview
ketchup on tendies.
Like
Do that all the time.
Ah, shit. Let's go, baby. If I want more tendies tomorrow, I'll have some more fucking tendies. Hell yeah, brother. I'm gonna enjoy the fuck out of those tendies tomorrow.
At this point, I think I was like at least 6 or 7 beers in, alright?
Okay, I'm learning.
Let me go.
Valuable Bristol Motor Speedway lessons right now. I know now that I need barbecue sauce to fully enhance the tendy experience. The tendy time, if you will. But hey, for now, I will tell you, to the best of my ability, how these tendies.
Ranch is S tier, barbecue isn't there for tendies? I mean, I'd say they're all good. It's kind of hard to fuck up tendies, to be honest. To slather them in any tasty sauce, and it's going to be pretty good.
Where the fuck am I saying? Here, alright.
Back up we go.
Hail, Junior! Hell yeah, sister! I'm not gonna lie, I'm a basic bitch. I'm rooting for Dale Jr.
Of course I am. Gotta root for the OG.
Alright.
Alright, here's the part where I was trying to take the phone out of the chest harness so that way I could film it, and then I accidentally pressed the off button on my phone so it stopped recording. Being kind of loud.
Fancy tomato ketchup, not just any old ketchup.
Fancy.
Fancy ketchup. Alright, if you say so. It's tendy time. Let's go, baby.
Tandy time. Hell yeah, brother. Okay. Like, yeah. That's looking pretty good right there, boys. Not as good as the Indianapolis tendies. Indianapolis tendies, if you saw them, you saw them. But these are still like, can't complain about that, right? Anybody, I'm sure, in this chat would demolish that. All right, and oops, I accidentally turned my phone off, but that's okay. I quickly realized that. Also, I saw your comment. Whoa, sick! Did I see that guy make that left? Yep, nope, not getting triggered by that again. If you want to listen to my response to that, just rewind another half an hour ago to hear my full 30-minute rant on that one. Oh, nice recording streamer. Oh, that was the wrong one actually. Forgot that this video was completely worthless. Pretty sure I just like accidentally did the equivalent of butt dialing on that one. They have forks? No, but like, yeah, use a fork to eat this? How bougie do I look? Yikes, that's not a great look for a dude who hasn't shaved for like 5 days at that point. I'm saying like, yeah, that's fine. Streamer, close your mouth. You're fucking disgusting. So basically, this is me just saying, like, Talladega tendies were dog shit tier. Indy tendies were amazing. These are somewhere in between. These are fun. These are decent. You hate using your fingers. What, you're eating tendies with a fork? Bro. You're Canadian, right? No wonder. No, you're not. I can't remember. That's straight up. That's un-American to eat tendies with a fork. You eat tendies with your hands, otherwise you get booted out of this country. Outs. Okay, you are a Canadian. Wait, what? No, okay, I'm confused as to which one you're confirming. Looks like a 6-beer deep NASCAR fan eating tendies. Hell yeah, brother, the way God intended. Intended, if you will. I think Canadians use a fork for tendies. I mean, clearly, they're Canadians, so like, that's what makes them Canadian, being lame. Yeah, that's right, you're from Maryland. That's right, yeah. So yeah, it looks like you need to move to Canada. Wonder if any of the old guys thought I was schizophrenic. Brother, you can't hear jack shit when these cars are racing, so nobody could even hear me talking, I guarantee you that. There's Dale Jr., it's him right there. Wow, hell yeah, brother. Okay, there you go. Next clip, I'm assuming is like basically the end of the race, or? Oh, like this is after the race was over. Okay.
Dale Jr. did not win. That,
yeah, hold on.
Well, Dale Jr. did not win. That is unfortunate. But I suppose the good news is that that was only the warm-up race for tomorrow's race. But maybe even the better news is that the main event is only just about to begin, because now
the winner of this race was named Cole Custer. Ultra American name.
Everything that has to do with the Camp Grad. Yeah.
Cole Custer, hell yeah, brother.
That won the race. I don't give a shit. Oh, nice, an extra fry in my tendy basket. Don't mind if I do.
Can't thank High Point enough. I mean, awesome to get them a win.
Oh yeah, you're a dude. Okay, sure, why not? Oh, I still got plenty of natty left. Natural. Good. Condensation. Nice little. Oh yes.
I had like a little mini ice bag cooler thing in my backpack, so I was able to keep my beers cold.
Explore the nightlife of Bristol, Tennessee. All right, chat. I will head back to the car. I mean, I guess if I see anything interesting along the way, I can always start then instead. But I'm gonna head back to the car, grab more beer, obviously. And we're gonna walk around. Things to know tonight for sure are number 1, Kid Rock cover band. Gotta see what's up with that. Number 2, random ass campground stage concert bands that are just gonna be the campground, not only that I'm staying at, but the ones adjacent to it. Gotta see that. And number 3, just general debauchery for rednecks that are drinking beer at 11:30 p.m. and just let's see what they do. All right, chat. I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.
Yeah, I don't really have any words for tonight, to be honest with you.
Okay. Cut to 5 minutes later.
All right, we're officially outside the racetrack. The race is over. We're ready to walk around, enjoy the southern scenery, if you will.
I was like 9 beers in at this point, so at this point, like, I was feeling fine. I wasn't really feeling overly drunk, but looking back, I was like, okay, I was kind of drunk.
But before I do that, I need a beer, because...
But like at the same time, it's not like I was driving anywhere. I was camping there for the night, so I was like, fuck it, I can drink as much as I want. And I did.
I refuse to do this anywhere close to sober, so... I can take care of that problem. Thanks to my recent trip back to my car before the race started.
That was clutch.
I believe I still have a beer left. Yes, I do. Oh, nice. Oh. And not to worry, kids.
Steal one of the
We're
carts.
headed back to the car right now, so that way we can stock up
the cart
on
would have been like, insanely
beer.
nice for just like carting around like all these hills.
Originally, before the race, I was concerned that like, oh man, I'm probably gonna have too much beer. What am I gonna do with all that excess beer that I'm not gonna be able to drink? Yeah, I can already kind of tell you that like that's not gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
We're going to have 0 problems finishing.
So of the 18 beers that I had in that 18 pack that I bought, I definitely drank 10 this night. So yeah, we were doing fine as far as being able to finish the beer.
Off the brewskis we have acquired over the course of this past weekend. Officer?
All right, incoming ear rape. Gonna turn that one down.
I will be enjoying this beer, that's right.
Okay, that was loud.
Cheers, officer. Whatever you're doing right now, I'm sure is very important and very relevant to this beer I'm drinking. All right. Let's, I don't know, head back to the car. Okay, so we're gonna grab our additional
Moaning?
brewskis.
Dude, you've clearly never seen me ever open a Coke Zero.
We're gonna walk around the campground because, from what I've been told.
So I pointed this guy out earlier. This is like epitome of like America in a NASCAR race right here. Dude wheeling around. I'm sure he's got a perfectly good reason to be wheeling around on his electric wheelchair, but like, bro, you're not helping the stereotype. You're killing me, man. You're killing me.
I've been told and heard and
got his
read,
little Wally cart just
overall,
rolling around everywhere.
I've gotten the impression of the fun shit happens now. The fun shit happens after this race is over. Because, like, yeah, keep in mind, the main race, the big one, the one that everybody cares about is tomorrow night, right? So this is the night before. The night before at the campground, the night before at the racetrack, the night before just in the area in general, right? So the idea would be that we're going to be able to see what people do the night before. That was a lot of fucking people. God damn, dude.
For that first race,
It's
yeah,
like
when you see it
fucking-
like this, impressive.
Rats in a maze. That's
And this
a
was-
quote from something, right?
No, not really. It was really just the
I would be one of said rats.
the warm-up race, if you
I
will.
enjoy being one of said rats. It's delicious. Huh. All right, sure.
Cool.
Let's see what we find. Also, it's not particularly warm outside at this point. It's probably in the high 60s, maybe mid 60s at this point, so I'm not overly warm. I'm honestly probably gonna have to grab myself a long sleeve shirt or maybe even a sweatshirt. Oh shit. Before I venture out into further camping adventures, which
It's
is
funny
definitely quite the departure from previous NASCAR races I've been to, where I've just been sweating my ass off the entire
drinking a
time.
shitload of beer will make it easier to
Not
yap
earlier,
in front of
it was
people.
in the 80s earlier, but now it's definitely
At this
cooled
point, I was
off
like, I don't give a
where-
fuck.
Oh, streamer might need like actual like coverage of the guns. Oh fuck. The tank top might not be enough.
Your jacket wasn't
shit.
enough. At this point, it was probably down into like the mid to
Fine
low
with that, though.
60s, and I was wearing a tank top,
Not
so like
fan of
enough to be
sweating
a
my ass off,
little
as Chad
chilly.
probably knows at this point. All right. Oh.
Although admittedly, once
Quite
if you're
the,
walking uphill, that made you definitely
the
made you
incline.
warmer.
All right, my car's out there somewhere.
It's on the One Tree
That's
Hill.
a lot of RVs.
Do people give me
just sitting
stairs
on that
here?
hill, ready to walk around, ready to explore.
I always get some stairs
Hell
whenever I
yeah,
get
brother.
the chest set up, but
back down to the
I just kind of learned to ignore it.
campground, where we're all Americans in here, and
Most people don't give a
all
fuck.
looking to
Most people can't really tell, like, unless they're specifically looking at me, that I'm talking to myself to a camera, because like it just my voice just kind of blends in with the crowd, just with the rest of the conversation.
enjoy being American or whatever the fuck people do in a campground at 11:30 p.m. in a NASCAR race. Hell yeah. Also, I will say, there is a impressive amount of children here. I mean, like, that's fine, right? Sporting events, typical. You'd see parents with their children, but I guess it's weird because when I was at Talladega last year, at this time of night, at this point, there weren't any children left. But at the same time, also, there was no race at night. Talladega is a track that doesn't have any lights, so it doesn't have night races. So because of that, you didn't really see any kids during the nighttime hours here. Yeah, there are kids.
There's a lot of kids at this race.
There are children.
Many of them.
There are children here. I love children. They're great. They are small human beings. They sound like human beings, but
they sound like gnomes.
3 octaves higher, and well, they exist. So once they clear out, hopefully we'll have a bit of a more interesting time. I'm gonna go to places.
Shoo, be gone, kids.
That's fine.
Did I meet Diddy in the last week? What do you mean? What? I'm not trying to diddle any kids. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm talking about how, like, I want the kids to leave. Get out of here.
Damn. And the funny thing is, whenever I do an IRL stream like this, especially where it's one where it's just like a pre-planned, where it's not a pre-planned cooking stream, I'm always worried about, like, am I going to be able to get enough footage? Am I going to be able to walk around and, like, film enough things that are interesting enough to the point where I can justify an entire stream worth of content? And then every time I question that, by the time I'm actually, like, filming, I always realize, like, fuck, I'm filming way too much. There's no way all of this shit's gonna be interesting. Oh shit, I'm filming way too much. I'm probably gonna have to, like, cut back on the amount of things that I actually, like, took footage of, right? Funny how that works. Alcohol has something to do with that. Things become much more interesting once you've consumed 9 natty. Well, this would be natty light number 9, right? At 5, 4, yeah, natty light, yeah.
I ever worry about content not being worth a full stream. Just start walking into the wrong tents with the camera on? Oh, yeah, bro.
We are not done yet.
Not looking to be like Dr. Disrespect back when he had that first scandal. Ignore the second one.
Now, we got to find our car next to that one.
How did you get away with that and not get canceled?
Right? It's funny, like, when I was walking back to the car, didn't film this part. When I was walking back to the car between, I guess when I first filmed and when the race actually started, you could see the car from
my first
the
amendment
track
streamer.
itself. Like, I literally could see the car. Like, I could just look up onto the hill, spot literally the one tree that was on the entire fucking hill, and see that, like, oh shit, there it is. There's my car sitting right next to the hill. Rental car, by the way. It's not my actual car, but the car that I've rented. And makes it very easy to find where you're camped at.
Become a Second Amendment streamer? My brother, I already am a Second Amendment streamer. I got the gun right there.
Literally the only tree. Oh. Well, that's nice and easy. All right. Oh my, what is going on over here? Some barbecue and smoke and shit. Welcome, race fans. All right, we'll check it out later. There was a stage here earlier. There's not a stage here anymore, but...
Rip.
Oh, we'll see. I know for an absolute fact that some of the campgrounds in the surrounding area here have stages set up that are supposed to have, like, you know, quote, impromptu concerts later tonight, so... And then I know that the Bristol Motor Speedway itself, like the actual track, is hosting the Kid Rock cover band concert. What type of crowd will be at a Kid Rock cover band concert? I don't know. I've never seen Kid Rock himself. I wouldn't have a reason to. I'm not somebody who would be listening to Kid Rock music. Not my thing. If that's your thing, that's cool, I guess. Everyone's entitled to their own musical taste, but
in fairness, though, I hate most music. I'm pretty much only listen to dad rock, and anything else I find cringe, so I'm not specifically hating on Kid Rock, really.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about the music, but I do give a fuck about what type of person would be willing to commit their perfectly good free time to showing up to a Kid Rock cover band concert. I don't know.
A good question. I'm gonna blow my nose. Be right back, chat.
All right, where's the car?
You can find it, streamer. I believe in you.
I see a tree. Okay, there's a tree over there. I know where my car is. All right. I gotta stock up on more beer. Hell yeah, brother. Oh, I mentioned this earlier, but unlike Talladega, that was very, very, very pleasantly flat for the most part. Yeah, there's a lot of hills here. A lot of inclines to climb. To the point where I'm getting winded while I walk back to my
It's
car.
quite the hill. It's hard to tell based on this footage.
Probably
but
on stream, it doesn't seem like I've gone far. So
it's a long
probably not
way.
a great look, but you're just gonna have to trust me and assume, correctly of course, that I've walked miles and miles up ultra steep terrain, and now that I'm completely fucking out of breath and completely fucking exhausted, my legs are on fire.
It's quite the
Then you
calf
can
workout, that's for
justify it,
sure.
because it's really far and really high.
Every time I would walk down to like the shower house to like take a shower, like I'd be already
In a really
sweating by the time I got back up to
difficult
the
hike.
car because it was such an uphill
Wow.
from there.
Yeah, so
Not ideal.
this campground here, it's not a campground where you have like traditional like spots in the campground where they've got like, oh, you know, each campsite has a where each campsite has like a dedicated bench and fire pit and whatever designated spot. It's just kind of a free for all. Just like, I don't know, just pick a spot and it's an open grass field, right? So you have to rent or bring your own fire pit. I didn't do that.
Ain't paying
Ironically,
$20
I
for
have
renting a fire
firewood,
pit.
So I could, in theory, light a fire if I had a fire pit, but the main problem is that a fire pit, and like they rent them for $20. Bitch, I ain't paying $20 for a fucking fire ring thing, whatever. So, I don't know.
Not that drunk.
In theory, if I
Not
walk
that
around
drunk.
enough tonight, it's probably not that big of a deal because I won't be at my actual quote-unquote campsite much tonight anyways. And when I say campsite, I'm literally talking about my car parked next to this tree, which, hey, there it is.
My car was my tent.
Whew, Christ. I just like to point out that at Talladega, technically the rule was you had to have a fire pit to light a fire, but nobody fucking followed it. People were just throwing logs onto the grass and just lighting that shit on fire, and no one gave a fuck, so. Points to Talladega for that. Fire ring? What fire ring? That's silly. Okay, so here's the car. All right, we've made it back to the campsite.
So what was that, like
Very
a 15-minute
excited.
walk or so?
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna restock on
Not
beer.
a small
okay?
distance.
I'm going to probably put on a long sleeve shirt because it's weirdly kind of cold out here. And then we're gonna explore the area because Kid Rock cover band, as far as I know, is supposed to be in this general direction. Entire just campground shenanigans are going to be happening just all in this general direction. Okay. I don't know if I'll make it to the drag strip. Probably, yeah, no, fuck that, dude. But I'm actually not that intoxicated, I promise.
Maybe a little bit.
I will be, given another couple of hours. I'll get there, but not yet.
Those
So,
9 natties catch up to
because
you
I
after
probably
a while.
won't show you later tonight, because I'll probably just be exhausted. I know this from experience. Let me show you my crib, all right? Let me show you
Oh shit,
my
little crib tour.
extremely comfy setup for the night, okay? First things
In
first.
my mom van.
Let's make sure car not with a dead battery. Right. Oh shit, okay. That's a good sign. So we got the groceries, the coolers, that's got beer, that's got food. We got the sleeping bag, little padded whatever thing underneath it, so that way it's comfy. It took more work than you probably know to get the front, like the middle rows out so I could actually like set up this entire sleeping bag setup, but whew, that'll be comfy later.
It was very comfy, by the way. I slept super well.
Oh, shit. You know what? All right, chat. It just occurred, like, it's funny. I literally just saw this, my little tripod / selfie stick plus studio light setup, and it was sitting here on the sleeping bag for a reason. I kind of forgot why I put it there. Yeah, I put it there for a reason. Let me set this up and we're gonna do taste test number 3 of the night. We've done
cramped up in such a narrow
Hells,
spot.
that was tasty.
Yeah,
We've
fun.
done the tendies, those were fine. It's time for taste test number 3. Oh shit, let's go. All right, be right back.
It was like, I don't know, the width of like a single bed. It was fun. Okay, taste test number 3.
Okay, now, why has Streamer decided to just pause the little experience at, I don't know what time it is. The race ended, it's probably 11, maybe 10:30, fuck it, I don't know. But we have a very important taste test to do. And this is something that is not only an important taste test, but an important follow-up to content we've already had on the stream. Yes, what could that be? In case you're wondering, this is the view from the campground that I'm at. There's the drag strip near the racetrack. There's the actual racetrack. Okay. There's the campground surrounding it. There's a lot. Okay. Now, chat. As you may remember, as of, let's say, a couple of weeks ago, or a week ago, or whatever the fuck it was, I don't know.
Give or take.
Oh, come on, tripod. I'm trying to film on a slope right now. It's a whole thing. Okay, this is
Yeah, the
fine.
car was parked on a slope, so it wasn't.
No, it's not. Okay, I got.
Wasn't easy to film when it was on such an incline.
That is not ghetto on this hill. That seems like it will probably work. It's going to be a little slanted. Is it good enough? Yeah, whatever. All right, you're on a slope. Whatever, dude. Okay, so we did a stream. Well, not a stream, but a taste test as of like a couple of weeks ago. Oh, you know, I got a fucking studio light. Why don't I turn this shit on? I'm a professional streamer. Wait. Oh, look at that. Wow, production quality, baby. It really is actually that easy. Okay. Anyways, so I did a stream a couple of weeks ago based on a post that was made on Discord. And it was the fact that apparently Coke Zero, which is my kind of goated soda, my main standard basic bitch soda that I always drink. I guess I shouldn't say goated because apparently the Sam's Club cola was better, but we're gonna ignore that. They made a Oreo version of Coke Zero. So I tried the OREO-Coke Zero, whatever, recently, and it was decent. It honestly, it tasted exactly what was advertised. It tasted like Coke Zero that had been infused with Oreo flavor. When you smelled it, it smelled like Oreos. When you drank it, it tasted like Coke Zero combined with Oreos. It delivered exactly the product that was promised, which honestly is fine by me. It was pretty tasty. Was it better than regular Coke Zero? Probably not. Was it tasty though? Absolutely. So, I told you at the time that there was also a companion product for said Coke Zero, Oreo thing, whatever, and that it was a Coke Zero flavored, Coca-Cola flavored Oreo. And the place that I found the Oreo-Coke Zero, which was some random ass CVS, did not have the Coca-Cola flavored Oreo. However, I came to Tennessee. I went to some random ass Walmart to buy all the rest of the stuff that I needed for this streaming experience. And lo and behold, yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, Tennessee confirmed less lame compared to Indiana. We have successfully procured some Oreo Coca-Cola with popping candy. Well, that feels like that's not a very good way to call it, but anyways, Coca-Cola flavored Oreos with apparently popping candy. And I gotta try this shit, right? And like, there's no way to try this shit unless
the popping
I'm
candy
kind of
part
drunk
never really
at a
manifested.
NASCAR race on a Friday night, drinking Natty Light.
Nothing more American than this, boys.
Time for a bit of taste test, or a bit of a taste test, shall we? Let's open this bad boy up. I am very curious. Honestly, I bought this like 4 days ago. I was like, fuck, I really just want to eat this. I really want to try it. But I was like, you know what? No. Despite my urges to eat this every night since I've gotten to Tennessee, I've held off so that way I could crack it open for the first time on stream for you guys.
every night when I was like drinking some beer, I had to show some serious restraint. I was like, fuck, I really want to have just a few. And chat won't know, right? But you're welcome, chat. I exercised enough restraint to not open it until now.
Welcome. Okay. Oh my. Okay. So I like how they've gone with the colored theme of Coca-Cola here. Okay. Didn't know they were gonna do this. It's like the red, white, brown theme, right? So like the Coca-Cola red, I don't know, the cum in the middle, and then the brown soda watercolor of the Oreos. Okay. Okay. Now,
Based in moral streamer, I try. You're on a diet.
I guess these are supposed to taste like
organic
Coca-Cola,
Oreos. It's
maybe?
fine.
That's what it looks like. Oreo. Okay, Coke. Okay, and the cum in the middle. All right.
Gum. Power.
Let me smell this. See what it smells like. All right, I'm gonna smell the Oreo side first. It doesn't smell like a regular Oreo. It smells like a. It smells. I mean, yeah. I guess it smells like what Coca-Cola smells like. But it's like they did a shockingly good job at this, both with the soda and then like also the Oreo. I guess it's partially because I'm biased because I know what I'm supposed to be tasting or what I'm looking for here, but like this smells like the combination of an Oreo and the brown sugar water that is Coca-Cola, right?
Yeah, it was uncanny.
That's the brown
honestly.
side.
Did a great job replicating the two.
All right, now that I've buried my nose in the brown cum, let's bury our nose in the red side. It smells the same. I'm assuming these are probably the same flavor and probably just colored differently.
I think they were, yeah, same wafers on each side.
Doesn't smell bad though. It smells like Coca-Cola and Oreos. That's not a bad smell. I mean, I'm down with that. I'll fuck with that, absolutely. All right, I'm gonna split this apart because I'm not a barbarian. All right, we're gonna taste the cum in the middle.
By the way, you're a true based and like truly respectable American if you eat your Oreos this way. Anybody who just bites into every single Oreo, just like full send, you're a fucking weirdo, all right? The cool kids break it apart first, scrape the cum off with their teeth, and then they eat the wafers separately, okay? That's the American way.
Okay, that's not the regular Oreo filling. That is.
What the fuck do I mean, bites? Well, I don't want to eat the whole thing in one bite. Then, like, I don't know. Then you gotta savor the experience, you know?
Uncanny. Holy shit. Whatever fucking scientists, whatever chemist, whatever nuclear physicist devised the idea to combine Oreo with Coca-Cola flavor, I am going to hand it to them.
Oreos are
they
one
did
bite.
an absolutely
All right, fat
fucking
ass.
perfect job. This is like quite literally the combination.
Okay, here we go. Now this is a true based take, honestly. You gotta twist the top off too, then double them up from double thick Oreo. I've never actually tried that, but that actually sounds amazing.
Flavor-wise, of an Oreo and Coca-Cola. That is actually just the cum in the middle, at least. I'll taste the full thing here in a second, but I don't know how many scientific experiments it took to figure out exactly, like, to nail down this flavor, but they clearly did it. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat this. I'm not going to try to say, like, oh my God, this blows my mind. This is a flavor I've never tasted before. Oh my God, this is some revolutionary experience that that my taste buds have never been even close to accustomed to. No, it tastes like Oreos and Coca-Cola combined into one. But the fact that it tastes perfectly like those two things combined is a goddamn miracle, and I'm honestly super impressed. Let me try it. Let me bite into the whole thing. I mean, yeah. I'll say this. The outside crisp part, whatever, like I don't know, traditionally the cookie part of the Oreo, not the filling, not the cum
final
part,
two in here.
tastes more like Oreo than it does Coca-Cola. But when you combine it with the cream filling, it creates the experience that I just talked about. It's not a bad one. I'm gonna have another. Cheers, chat. This cum is for you. Oh.
Is that the whole pack in 4 days? No, it's the whole pack in like 5 days. Okay, settle down. I actually had my dad try one of these too. He was not a fan. There you go. I'm doing the thing.
Bad. That was good enough to satisfy a mildly intoxicated streamer on a Friday night. Absolutely.
Oh my. God.
Also, I read stories about how
double red. Oh. Little cum squeeze out the middle. Oh. Wow. Not bad. It's not bad. Cum. Power. The streamer's addicted to it.
if you try to drive away from this track after a race is over, you're just gonna be stuck in traffic for fucking ever. Imagine, imagine being one of those people instead of a cool streamer who's just staying in the campground for the entire night.
My dad did agree to taste like Coca-Cola and Oreos. And he likes both of those separately, I know that, but he was not a fan of the combination of the two. So I respect his opinion, but he's also just wrong.
Also tomorrow night. See those red lights? See those red lights?
No. What?
See those red lights over there?
Oh, the brake lights.
Those
Got
are
it.
people stuck in traffic.
Oh.
Couldn't be me. Okay. Now, I've completed the taste test. That was very tasty. No complaints there. I'm probably going to eat one more off stream. And then we're going to officially walk around.
What's the reflection on the lens? That's the UFOs sent by Biden to spy on NASCAR fans, obviously.
And see what there is to see in the campground. So I'm going to prep more beer. Probably eat another Oreo. Put on a long sleeve shirt because I'm a little cold. And then we'll explore. All right? Be right back, chat.
No, my phone just has lens because it has weird reflections on it sometimes when I'm taking footage at night. Anyways, all right. Here, I believe, is basically the final major clip of the day. Let's do it. We got a Kid Rock cover band concert to attend. Oh my. And a bingo to work on, of course. Come on. Open up for me. Come on. Come on. There we go.
All right, chat. Whew. We are back relatively close to the track. Okay, like right,
it's a
right next
little
to it.
NASCAR stream. Hell yeah,
and,
brother.
let's see if we can find ourselves a a little Kid Rock cover band concert. Let's see how feasible something like that is.
What's this line for? Oh, that's right. So I found this out.
What is this? Some people lining up for something. I don't know what. I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to wait for it. Whatever
I found out the answer later. This was the portion of the track where all like the giant trailers that have the cars in them come out. So like if you want to like catch your favorite driver's trailer that has the car go by and your favorite driver's whatever, like little, maybe you see your actual driver. I don't know, probably not. That's where all the big trucks exit the track. That's what people were waiting for.
And keep walking. I don't know. Probably some people wanted to see the drivers of whatever the fuck. Yeah, sure, whatever. Go for it, dude. Got more important things to see. That's why I'm camping. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the comment. You bet the cops
Smart
make
and
bank just posting up at the
streamer.
exit of this place and they had DUIs. Yeah, probably a unfortunate amount of people probably end up drinking and driving at these because, like,
Alright,
yeah, if you're
so
gonna drink a
the
shitload
quote-unquote
of beer at this and try to drive home after,
Fan zone.
yeah,
It's
that's why camping is clutch.
In this direction. Let's see if we find it. Now, this is the concert that's supposed to be officially sanctioned, or well, that sounds very official, I don't know. The concert hosted by the racetrack itself, so this one in theory should be the most,
It's being hosted at
I don't know,
a stage called the Food City
sterile, that was the word
Fun
I was about to
Zone.
use, but-
Hell yeah, brother.
the most pre-planned and pre-formatted thing. Also, apparently it started like 45 minutes ago. Yeah, fuck me, I guess. I don't know. But hopefully we'll make it there just in time for the grand finale, I guess, or something. I don't know. Oh.
I don't know how much you can tell.
Really
This is.
It was a little more flat right
Felt
now,
like
though, not gonna lie.
every direction at this place was uphill.
After drinking a shitload of beer, climbing a bunch of hills, not pleasant. It's not great. I don't love it. It's not the best, but do it for you, Chad. We'll make it. We'll make it. We'll make it.
I got my steps in. Oh, I absolutely did. Not only at the racetrack, but just over the course of the entire trip. Did plenty of hiking and plenty.
Let's see if we can find some big old
plenty of walking up hills, more than my body would prefer.
What is supposed to be called the Bristol Fan Zone. Oh, a zone for fans, of which I guess I am one of.
I guess I'm definitely glad that I prepped before the trip with like some walking, so that way I was at least a little conditioned before I started the experience. Because I remember when I did my first like 2-hour walk, I was fucking dying by the time it was done.
This parking lot right here, kind of empty. Huh. Imagine that, people going home after a race and not just staying the night. Unbelievable.
Yeah, the last thing I'm gonna do is go to this first race and then have to like wait in traffic for an hour to get out, and then come back the next day, watch the race, and then wait in traffic an hour again. No, thank you.
Funny thing is, unlike the previous tracks that I've been to, this one.
Doing the dishes earlier when I was explaining about the fire. Could I repeat that?
Walk around the entire thing.
The fire?
I did sort of technically do the same thing at Talladega, but it took me.
What fire? What?
Like 2 hours. And I was exhausted, and I got kind of lost and wandered through a bunch of probably not so strictly legal areas.
We'll get to that part later this night.
Here, all feels a little more legit. I'll say that.
For now.
Hey, Learnhardt.
Oh, if you get off a fire at the campsite. The answer was yes, but you needed to either have your own fire pit or rent one for $20. And ain't no way I was going to rent one for $20, so I didn't end up having one, but other people did. You were allowed to have it as long as you had it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Be pretty lame if you're at a campsite and you couldn't have a fire. Kind of feels like it defeats the purpose almost.
Where is the thing?
You're almost there, streamer. Promise.
Down here? It must be down here, I guess. This is a big old building of something. The Bruton Smith building. What's in there? I don't know. But it's white and fancy looking, so it must be, I don't know, relevant, I guess. Okay.
Fire bans are bad for morale. Wasn't a fire ban here, I can guarantee you that.
Distance. That's probably a good sign. All right, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got.
Oh, shit.
Now, let me preface what we're about to see with this. I do not know any Kid Rock music. I would not say I'm a fan of his music or his genre of music or really anything having to do with Kid Rock. And I would never, ever, ever, ever consider attending an event like this. However, for this specific set of circumstances, I'm very curious.
There's a fair bit, like, decently large crowd here for this.
Well. All right.
Like, if it's Kid Rock himself, then sure, that makes sense. But there's a cover band, but like, a lot of people there.
Doesn't he have that one song that's like a rip-off of another song? It's like a rip-off song of like Sweet Home Alabama or something. He
does,
song. I don't know,
we confirmed this earlier.
Chad, help me out with this. Doesn't he have some, isn't his most famous song a rip-off of some other famous song?
The answer is yes, it's this one. And like, it uses the same chord progression as Sweet Home Alabama, right? Wait, no, it's no, that's not Sweet Home Alabama. That's Werewolves of London. That's what it is. Oh shit. But then maybe there's some Sweet Home Alabama in there too. Was it there? This song's actually fine. I'll give him that. Leo meme. Okay, there you go. That's what I was talking about.
Something. Maybe they'll play it at
Fortunately,
some
he gets
point, who
fucked
knows?
on royalties, does he? I'm sure he's doing just fine even with that. Just a hunch.
Man, it's funny. Just like
Kid
you
Rock
walk
forgave
around this track
Budweiser,
and
did
there's
I?
people in
Never,
every
brother.
direction.
I'll hate the gays till the day I die.
It's quite impressive.
Or no, it
I'm
was
not gonna lie.
transgenders. Those transgenders. They aren't real people. They drink Bud Light. Disgusting.
All right, now is some giant fight gonna break out where some dude like goes in for like the WWE finishing move like last time? I'm not gonna lie, probably not. That's hard to top, TBH.
Has a gold elevator in his
that being
mansion.
said,
He's pretty good on money.
If I see anything,
But he
even
could have
close
2
to that
gold
level of
elevators, I'm just
absurdity,
saying.
I'll be a happy camper.
Is that a recycling
Both
bin?
figuratively
I don't know if it
and
was
literally.
recycling. They had some recycling bins around. These are just regular trash cans, I think.
Which you probably out there, maybe recording, I don't know.
Oh, that's me.
Give us a follow on Facebook, Kid Kentucky. It means a lot to us.
Oh my.
We can build up that fan base.
Well, there it is.
The more places we go and entertain you, find beautiful people. We're not begging for it, we're just asking for it. It'll be much appreciated. If there's a lot of
Make sure to like and subscribe to the cover band. The cover band, by the way, was called Kid Kentucky. No prizes for guessing which state they were from.
Let me hear them ladies scream right now.
It's
As I mentioned,
mostly old, washed up, overweight white women.
As I mentioned earlier, it was a large quantity of women at this concert. Not that many ladies there, though.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. But, you know, he was trying to call them out, so I'm just telling it like it is.
Stage left, my right, let me hear you.
All right.
All right. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Oh, don't worry. Also, a large quantity of men as well. Very girthy. Dude, this poor kid just like sitting here, just like, oh, please, I want to leave. So naturally, I put this on the bingo because I was curious if this would be a thing. Were they going to have the lead guy of this cover band be a Kid Rock lookalike? Let's find out. Great song, love it.
Oh, this is music, I guess. Okay, sure.
Some mushroom heads for you guys.
Kid Kentucky, huh?
Kid sleeping on his parents' shoulder as they listen to the concert. I feel that. People like sing along, belting this out. Having a good time. This dude just on his own, just kind of like, yeah, I'm into this, yeah.
There's a lot of people singing along to this shit. I guess it's like songs you should know if you're a Kid Rock fan.
Guy totally staring me down.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's a little hard to tell just like looking at the screen, but in case you're wondering if the lead of this band was indeed a Kid Rock lookalike, you can probably get the idea, right? He had like the whole goatee thing going on, like he had the whole getup, like the hat, the facial hair, it was honestly kind of spot on. It was kind of impressive, to be honest. Like, as a person who doesn't really know Kid Rock much, if you'd told me this was Kid Rock, I would have believed you. I'd have been like, yeah, that seems vaguely what he looks like. So, credit where credit is due. He pulled off the Kid Rock lookalike. So, check. We'll take that. We'll take that. Mm-hmm.
Qualifies a lookalike?
Sounds like shit. Yeah, not my type of music, but clearly plenty of people here were enjoying it.
It's just occurred to me, I don't really know what Kid Rock looks like. I mean, it's a dude wearing a hat. Alright.
It's close enough. When I looked up the picture later, I was like, damn, okay.
There are people like unironically singing along to this shit. Apparently some people like this music. Okay, that's cool. Who am I to judge? Alright, I mean, fair.
I might have judged a little. These people right here. Totally just giving me the look, dude. Hold on. This entire group of like guys right here. The fuck you doing there, son? Give me the side eye. Yeah, I see that. Soul of the American spirit. Who the hell is this black-haired fella? I was dressed in an American flag. It's cool. I was part of the club.
All right. Oh my. Wow. Well, there it is.
So, this is just like one of those merchandise haulers, right? Whatever. You got this perfectly nice looking lady behind here selling the stuff. And then you got this clearly very intoxicated man. Not that I have any problem with that. I was definitely drunk at this point too. Man with clearly zero shame. Just rocking the jorts. So like I was hoping to find the person only wearing jorts. I couldn't imagine in my wildest dreams that this would be the dude that I ultimately found that had only the jorts. Not only is he rocking only the jorts, he's shameless enough to be rocking the socks and sandals combo. Ultra drunk, the man fupa just proudly hanging down there, just kind of just like drooping down the jorts. And I felt so bad for this lady in the trailer because like she was clearly just like there, just like it's the end of the night. She's like trying to sell the merchandise. All right, sure, whatever. And this dude was clearly like trying to like be all buddy with her and like talking her off. And like I felt so bad for her. Like I wasn't going to do anything or say anything. It was just like, oh man, this poor lady. Not sandals, Crocs, whatever. Okay, fine. Socks and Crocs, as if that makes it any better. Either way. We found our person wearing only jorts. But man, what a person to find. Got the moves. He's got the man fupa. He's got his underwear hanging out. I'm surprised we didn't get butt crack. That'd have been such a double whammy had we gotten both butt crack and jorts. Damn. But, well, there it is. There it is.
Is this a part of the bingo? I'm 99% certain this is part of the bingo.
Yes, it is, Stramer.
I think we just hit the bingo. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. There it is.
By the way, not the first person that weekend I ended up seeing wearing only jorts.
Yeah, that definitely counts. Yeah, let's go, baby. That counts. That counts. What the? I feel so bad for the chick that was at that like, concession stand. Trying to like, spin the art of the deal with that dude. He's just standing there, giant beer gut out, sitting in the jorts, like every piece of fat on his body bulging out of that little outfit he was wearing. And it wasn't much of an outfit, a very, very tiny outfit. And she's just standing there trying to like pretend like she's not super fucking grossed out. I was grossed out. I threw up a little bit in my mouth, absolutely. Wow. All right. Only in a NASCAR race would you find like a tractor exhibit or like a tractor
King shame, nah, dude.
display.
I'd put my dick between his fupa, his man fupa, absolutely.
Wow. We got mean tractors.
That Chad took her home and finger blasted. Oh my.
Kentucky, North Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, West.
Anything's possible, who knows?
We got some John Deere tractors. Oh shit.
You wish you had the confidence of an obese drunk man in jorts. Hey, you know what? Hey, like I said, he was shameless. He was going
for it. Some people probably see this shit like, God damn, that's the shit right there.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and you drink 100% of the shots that he took that night.
Oh yeah, baby. Oh Oh, look at that tractor. Oh, yeah, look at that piece of equipment. Oh, fuck, man. That's
Yeah, Turnberg earlier said this all
tractor.
seems kind of mean. I mean, I'm just being observational.
I just see him just like, yeah, it's a tractor. All right.
Oh, right. I didn't see his response. Oh, like what your response though was what's mean is subjecting people to your Fupa.
Yep. All right.
I mean,
all right.
So I didn't show his face. Yeah, I didn't linger.
It's impressive. It's impressive equipment.
Just observing the humanity. Come on.
All right. All right.
The Joel Jords.
So, I suppose I shouldn't be surprised, right? But it is fascinating to me that there's apparently enough people here to not only be interested in a Kid Rock cover band concert, but also enough people to like stand around and sing along to said cover bands. Kind of impressive, not gonna lie. Oh, sure. Jesus. Oh.
Some guy yelling, "Take your top off."
That dude just said, "Take your top off." Does that count? I know, like, "take your tits out" is a thing, right? But like, or no, it's the "show me your tits." Is that? It's like close, but do we count that?
It counts.
I
We
like
determined this earlier. Oh yeah, baby, count
not
it.
quite there. Not quite there.
We're getting pretty close. We're only a food with possum / squirrel / something weird away. Will we ultimately get our bingo here? We'll see.
They go this way. Dude, where's the sketchy moonshine?
In actuality, he's just her husband. She's like, "God dang it, Earl, put a fucking shirt on. Put that man Fupa away. That's all mine, baby, for later." Oh shit.
I know this song. Are they gonna just straight up play like Freebird? I'm down for some rat
Finally.
spin. Hold on, wait a minute. Okay, apparently he's deviating a little bit into Leonard Skinner. You know what? I can get behind this. All right, I'm gonna cut off the recording here. If they get to the solo and do the actual solo, I'll restart it. All right. See you in a bit, Chad.
This is where the narrator kicks in and says, they did not play the Freebird solo. In fact, he sang the whole song until the solo, and then they just stopped. It was so lame. I get the solo is probably hard to pull off, especially if you don't have 3 guitarists, but like, man. They just went into some other Kid Rock song that I didn't recognize. Man. All right, we're almost done here, actually. I know, right? Like, it's like playing Bohemian Rhapsody and not playing the end part, or it's like playing Stairway and not playing like the end solo. It's like a chick giving you some sloppy toppy and then she just stops right before you're about to bust that fatty nut. It's like, come on, you can't just go all the way there and not like finish. Like, come on. Anyways.
Yeah, he did not play the Freebird solo. That's very sad. I feel out of place. I've never really felt that sort of feeling in a NASCAR race before, but I feel like everyone here is in a club and I'm not in it.
This is like honestly the first time the first time I ever got that feeling in a NASCAR race. Normally at a NASCAR race, like you definitely like are seeing humanity that like isn't really quite like someone like I wouldn't say like I'm like super similar to them, but it's not like I feel like out of place per se. This was the first time where I legitimately just like kind of like felt like I was like I must be missing something here. Like I felt like an alien in this walking in this crowd. Like everybody's super into it, having a great time, enjoying it, like super into the music. Everyone like showing like, oh, but by the way, we absolutely saw hunting imagery earlier, didn't we? Wasn't there like a? Was there? I could have sworn we saw some hunting stuff earlier, maybe not. But anyways, people wearing their hunting stuff, whatever. And I legitimately just felt like out of place. It's not like I felt in danger, not like I felt like, oh my God, people, like, we don't accept your kind around here. But it was just like, it was just kind of very jarring to me how I had like literally nothing in common with anyone around me. It was interesting. Because I went solo? No, I mean, I've been solo to all the NASCAR races so far, and it's been fine. It's just like, this one's just like, I just share like almost nothing in common with anyone around here, which like nothing wrong with that. Just, everyone's different, obviously, right? But this was just very interesting. Where it's like the first time I ever got the feeling, I'm just like, man, I'm just not in the club, am I?
I feel
Drugs
like
can
everyone here's in
help?
a club and I'm not in it.
I mean, I was drinking plenty of beer like the rest of them.
People are not only like.
And I'm not trying to say this in like a
listening
bad
to
way.
like
They were like,
hear it.
oh, I'm not like those people. It's just like, they're just different. They're just very, very different than me. It's interesting. I do like to drink a lot of cheap beer. Yeah,
I mean,
that we share in
they're
common.
They're like into it. See what I'm talking about? See what I mean?
Yeah, this isn't me. I'm not like country in any way. And this is kind of like the vibe I got. Oh, she's definitely judging, dude. In no way am I like a country boy. Like nothing about my upbringing's country. So, yeah, it was just kind of funny seeing the contrast.
It's like to go to like a concert.
They're
Where
staring me
you don't know any of the
down.
songs
Yeah, you
and
get
everyone else
that.
does.
Like people just be looking like, what the fuck is he doing? Be nice, Chad. Come on.
Like everyone's all riled up, like, oh yeah, there it is. Oh
She's
shit.
me being the mean one earlier.
It's like, what the heck is this? Huh. I'll let it cook. Hold on.
Need a beat up John Deere hat to fit in. I was wearing my NASCAR camo hat. I was telling her friends. Did the friend give a side? I actually didn't see that. Did she really? Oh shit, I think. I didn't even notice that in the moment. Oh, that's embarrassing. Oh well, whatever. Like I was the most ridiculous thing there. Like, come on. That was just another ridiculous thing in a sea of ridiculousness. Whatever, dude. Go talk to the guy wearing only jorts with his man Fupa out, alright? Come on. What are you judging me for? That's a perfectly normal looking American right there. He's just enjoying himself, having a good time at the Kid Rock concert. Bruh. Dude, yeah, she gave me the side eye again. Fuck off, lady.
Get back in a bit, chat.
Yeah, okay. She should have at least like turned around and asked me if I was a YouTuber to help the bingo out, you know? All right. Well, you know, I honestly had big plans for that night, hoping to like walk around all the campgrounds and experience like the nightlife in general. But I'll be honest. So like, I had plans to walk around the campground that was adjacent to the one I was staying in because I had read about it in advance. I had kind of looked up what the craziness that might happen in advance was going to be. And so the campground that I wanted to go to, do I still have the map up somewhere? Yeah, here we go. So I was staying in the campground here, right? Here's the One Tree Hill. To the left of it was the Red Barn camping. So I was thinking like, oh, cool. Like I've read some stuff, like some crazy stuff that happens here. That'd be fun to walk around here and see what's going on. So Kid Rock cover band concert was right here. Okay. So I decided, okay, we're going to walk back up here, whatever. Walk back around here. I walked through this parking lot out here along this road and walked like this way so I could then enter through the side here. Okay. It was a long ass way. I should have just walked this way, but figured like, oh, I'll walk in a different direction this time. And so I get to this campground thinking like, okay, so here's where like all the insane, crazy, batshit, weird stuff is going to be, right? And it was really weird. I got here and it was just like a ghost town. It was empty. It wasn't like it was completely closed. Oh, you can't see my mouse? Wait, really? Oh, that's right. I forgot that like I'm using my old version of the stream setup, so you can't actually hold on. So you can actually see it because I didn't used to show it back in the day. There we go. All right. So, all right. Yeah, sorry. Let's try that again. So, okay, Kid Rock concert was here. And so walked all the way back up here through this parking lot, blah, 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 blah. Okay, up the boulevard, down the sidewalk right here. Sure. And so I could enter through the side here through the Red Barn camping. And this was from what I had read, like, oh, this is like a bunch of crazy shit happens. Oh, okay, this is where I got to go. But I get here, and like I said, total ghost town. It was weird. Like, there were a few campers here, like along like here. So it's not like it was closed. But like, no one was staying there. It was really weird. And I almost wonder if like maybe something bad had happened in like the previous couple of races or something there. And like it scared everyone away or like made people not want to go there anymore. I'm not sure, but regardless, like I was planning on walking through this area and being like, seeing all the weird shit, and like just there was nothing to walk through. There was no one there. I went to a Kid Rock concert expecting to have fun. I didn't go there expecting to have fun per se. I went there expecting to see a bunch of crazy weird sights and stuff. And Kid Rock concert didn't disappoint. Saw plenty of weird shit at that, absolutely. But yeah, I never got to explore these campgrounds, at least during this night. And you know, I wish I would have, because we'll end up talking more about this later, like tomorrow's stream. But I didn't explore this campground area north of the track. And I get the feeling I should have. I shouldn't have gone down this way. I should have gone from here and went like this way instead. We'll never know, I guess, but I kind of regret going this way instead. Because I got here and it was just, like I said, a spooky ghost town. So ultimately I was like, well, shit, there's no one here. And by then I'd done a fuckload of walking. I was very tired. And I was like, okay, you know what? That's a bit unfortunate, but I'm just going to walk back to my campground, call it a night, pass out. So I walked through here thinking like, okay, here's my campground. I'll just walk straight through, right? Yeah, it turns out along this entire perimeter here, you can kind of even see on this map. Yeah, there's a giant chain link fence that goes all along here the entire fucking way. And so I'm like, I walk to here, I'm like, oh, I can't get through. Shit, so I just walk along this entire fence, like, oh, please let me through. I just need to get through. Nope, blocked off. And then I get to this, I'm just like, okay, giant wall of trees and tall plants. Can't walk through here. So, and by the way, this is all pitch black. Zero lights here. There's no one camping here, right? So I can't see. It's like pitch black darkness. I'm just like trying to like stumble my way through these like overgrown grass fields. Feet are getting soaked because there's dew on the grass at this point. So I keep having to walk through here. Can't get through. Plants, trees. Like finally I get to this road here. Well, that's right. I can't even get through here because there was plants here too. So I had to walk this way. And finally, like once I was here, I was able to walk onto this road. And then I walked all the way out. And then I get to this point. I'm like, well, all right. I guess I'll just walk along the highway. Not a highway that had a sidewalk, not a highway or like, you know, a road that had any sort of like pedestrian walking area. So this was super sketch, like super late at night, pitch black, no street lights, cars just like zooming past, and I just kind of have to walk in this shoulder and be like, please don't run me over and kill me. So I walk over this way, it's probably like half a mile. Finally walk back through here, get back to my campground, I get back in, and then I proceed to walk back to the car and crash there and call it a night. And that was the experience. Now, that being said, still experienced plenty that day, and still, I guess, if anything, it ended up being 3.5 hours worth of content that I still filmed, so it was fine. But I'm not going to lie. I ended up being a little disappointed at the end of the night, thinking like, oh yeah, I get to see all that crazy campground shit again like I did Talladega. And once again, I think I might have fucked up by not going to these campgrounds and seeing what was going on here. You'll see more why I mean that tomorrow. But really, ultimately, besides the Kid Rock cover band concert, I really didn't see any crazy, weird, fun shit that night. A good DayZ run, yeah, I guess. I didn't die, I didn't get murdered, so I mean, that was a success at least. But yeah, I didn't really see anything. And ultimately, I think I got kind of the impression that the campground I was staying in was kind of like the old, middle-aged boomer campground. Not in a bad way, but like what I mean by that is like it was the place, or there was the place for people who preferred like the more quiet campground and not like the ultra party one. I get the feeling the ones up here were probably the ultra party ones, and I just didn't know that in advance. So yeah, that's unfortunate. I wanted to see crazy campground shit. I never really did. That's too bad, but live and learn. Still had a good day. Still had fun overall. So I definitely went to bed that night disappointed, and like in reality, I watched this all back and like that was still pretty entertaining. That was still fun. I was expecting some meth smoking DJ shenanigans. Not that, but like I was expecting, I don't know, something along a similar vibe to like the Talladega campground experience last year, which in fairness was so absurd that I was never going to top that, but I was just looking for something similar to it. But oh well, man. So went to bed that night and woke up a couple times in the middle of the night completely parched, needed to drink way more water than I did because I drank so much beer. But thankfully I didn't get so drunk that I was like horribly hungover the next morning. So it all worked out. All right, kids. And that was the last video that I took of the day. I think, right? Hold on, one more picture that I took at some point. Oh, that's right. I did see this shirt. This guy wearing the shirt at the Kid Rock cover band concert. I'm a gunaholic. on the road to recovery. Just kidding, I'm on the way to the gun shop. Hell yeah, brother. Also, quite the hairdo he's rocking here. Oh my. Like the shaved sides and back of the head and like the mullet in the back. Oh my. What a hairdo, dude. What a hairdo. Wow. So anyways, that's the end of part 1 of the NASCAR stream. Oh shit. I'm gonna play some appropriate background music. So yeah, that was part 1 of the camp of the NASCAR stream. The good news is, like I said, this was only day 1. So we actually had an entire next day for the next part of content. So that's going to be tomorrow's stream. So in case you enjoyed tonight's stream, hopefully you did, or in case you enjoyed the one earlier today, or if you watched both, the good news is you get part 2 tomorrow, and we'll do the big conclusion to the part 2 of NASCAR stream part 4. Part 1, there shouldn't be a part 2 tomorrow. It's just going to be part 2 of NASCAR stream part 4, but only one part. I'm not going to do it twice. So anyways, that stream tomorrow, we're going to be starting that one at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, at 19 Central European Time. Both were great, just slightly different. Yeah, I tried to at least like hit all the same points this time around, but this one was longer because I had more time to add more comments because I wasn't worried about the raid starting. So yeah, if you did watch both, hopefully you enjoyed it both times, I guess. I don't know. Nax tomorrow? Nope, no raids tomorrow. No raids that I'll have to beat the clock on to finish the NASCAR stream. We'll just do nothing but NASCAR tomorrow, baby. Next raid stream will be on Sunday. That'll be the Salvador Nax with DMF, Poggies. And then Monday will be the Alt Warrior Nax and Pilla Nax. Oh shit. And then Tuesday will be the first Nax with the revival of Live Sunders, please. Nice. So, plenty of raiding coming up later this weekend. Otherwise, you guys can do !Discord in the chat if you feel like joining my Discord. It's a place where I post stream news, stream announcements. Anytime I go live, I'll make sure to ping you guys. It's a place where you can ask me if I'm a gunaholic, and the answer is obviously. I got 2 guns. Right there, baby. Oh, yeah. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the little unplanned impromptu NA night stream. I know I don't do these really at all anymore, but hopefully you enjoyed the little one-off NA night stream session. And you guys are NA, have a good rest of the night. If you guys are EU, you should probably be sleeping. If you're not, what the fuck are you doing? But otherwise, have a good rest of the morning. If you're OC, oh, I never get to say this now. Have a good rest of the afternoon. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow for a NASCAR stream part 2. I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.